DC Comics has canceled the new Red Hood series. The first issue dropped this past Wednesday, and going into it, there was already a lot of concern about the quality of the book and certain things like that. And um, it was canceled within 24 hours of its release, which is the fastest I have ever known of a book to be canceled. Now, it's not because of sales. Sales are not going to get a book canceled that quickly, unless, I mean, it would have to do really bad. Um, the reason that the book was canceled is something that we're going to get into here in just a few minutes. Um, it is a controversial subject, and I want to make sure that everybody understands that this conversation we're about to have is not about the political aspect. And I do not want to talk about the political aspect. That is not the point of this conversation. The point of this conversation is why DC made this decision, whether or not we think it was a good decision or not. And if the writer, Gretchen Felker-Martin, did a wrong thing in the context of her job. Those are the things we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about why Charlie Kirk is not alive anymore or anything related to that. So hopefully we can all understand each other and we know what the parameters are, and we are going to keep this conversation within a very specific realm. To have this conversation, we have, of course, the pals. We've got Marco,
Celsius.
Tyler.
Marco woke me up. You should have seen when I got on the Zoom call before you, Sean. I don't know how this guy is awake this early in the morning.
Dude, I've been up.
Damn.
His energy is just too much for me.
And that's coffee, dude.
And of course, I'm Sean. Thank you guys for being here, whether you are live or in the future. Really, really appreciate you showing up to hang out with us for a few hours. We have a big show planned today. We've got fun stuff to talk about. We've got a big announcement to make, a big interview announcement to make. So we'll get into that a little bit later. Patrick Zay wants to know, Tyler, what's your pick of the week, real quick?
Well, that's right.
Oh yeah, I was. I didn't read too much. I'll be honest. But because I've been reading all my backlog, so I don't really know what I read from this week. But Absolute Batman was damn good. I gotta say. I don't know your guys' take on it. I haven't fully watched the episode. I've only listened to a little bit of it. Yeah, good book.
Did you read the third
I
issue?
did not yet. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
What was your guys' pick of the week? You can spoil it for me.
Cap.
It was
Yeah.
Cap. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. For me, it was like, oh, this is one of my favorite Batman issues so far. Interesting. Okay.
Well, it's close in the alphabetical order that you read, so it's coming up.
My pick was actually Red Hood.
Yeah.
Bringing it back around for you, Sean.
GK Ultra with the 499. Red Hood by default wins speculator pick of the week. It was actually a decent start for a Red Hood book. Much love to the pals. Well, I'll tell you what, GK, I didn't get a copy of Red Hood #1 because, quite frankly, I anticipated it sucking. Now, I have no idea if it was good or not. I've seen people say it was okay. But damn it if I don't wish I had one now, because that fucker's a collector's item.
Yeah. The canceled issue, you know.
Yeah, the only issue of a 5 issue series.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Steve Canera says stores are still selling it. Got my copy at Third Eye. Yeah, I thought about going to check my LCS to see if I could grab a copy, but I'm not trying to go down there.
If you grab a copy, you got to grab it and then like be like, why am I don't support this. I'm just, you got to make sure people know you're buying it for the speculator reasons.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me set up the goal for this morning so that we can play the GOAT game a little bit
yes.
later. Thank you for the super chats that have already come in. Really appreciate that. Speaking of which, Gabernerd with the 10-pound. Tom King can laugh about how he tortured people in Iraq. Mark Wade can wish death on Trump and nothing happens, but DC decided to come out and say no to violence over this. It feels like a joke. Okay, well, I understand your perspective. Let's get into the conversation at hand and we can tackle that point. So, Popverse broke the news that Red Hood #1 was canceled. It was released on September 10th. And it features Jason Todd. It features Huntress. And there were a lot of people kind of bummed out about that pairing, just because they don't really have, from what I know, a ton of history. And there was a potential romance angle that I know people weren't looking forward to. In this series. They were going to be leaving Gotham and going to Louisiana. So there were people not really thrilled with the framing of that, but okay. So from the article, in a statement sent to retailers late September 10th, DC wrote, quote, DC cancels existing orders for Red Hood #2 and Red Hood #3, and any orders for future issues of the series. DC Comics will credit retailers for all invoiced copies of Red Hood #1, inclusive of copies that may have already been sold. So essentially, they want you, they're giving you your money back, even on copies of issue 1. Presumably, they don't want you to sell issue 1s anymore. But yeah, there you go.
It's not on Comixology either, from what I can tell.
Yeah, they don't want this sold.
Bully pulled. Wow.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
When contacted for reasons behind the cancellation, DC Comics provided the following statement, quote, at DC Comics, we place the highest value on creators and community and affirm the right to peaceful individual expression of personal viewpoints. Posts or public comments that can be viewed as promoting hostility or violence are inconsistent with DC's standard of conduct. Well, what is it that was said that caused such a reaction? That's the big time question at hand here. On Wednesday, September 10th, probably everyone listening to this will know that Charlie Kirk, who was a right-wing personality,
pundit,
made, or he's made a lot of controversial statements in his own right, I suppose. He was assassinated, and that obviously caused a lot of feelings and emotions and reactions on the part of people all across the world. And Gretchen is one of those people who had a reaction. So she took to Bluesky to make comments about what was said, or about what occurred. And she said the following: thoughts and prayers, you Nazi bitch. Hope the bullet's okay after touching Charlie Kirk. So those are the comments that she was fired for. Now, I want to say that everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Sure.
That's I think we probably can all agree with that.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that her comments warranted the reaction on DC's part to cancel the series?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess Marco will go first.
I don't.
Be careful of those eggshells, Marco. I don't want you stepping on them.
I don't think that the tweets necessitate an action from DC outside of maybe having the request to maintain a bit of decorum in the situation for the fact that she works for DC Comics. Whether or not people agree with that statement, um, either hers or DC's, I think that she should be allowed to say what she wants under her individual on her individual, social media accounts. I don't think that those things are necessarily a reflection of the publisher, but if you're also promoting a book that week, if there's the possibility that DC gets a whiff of, is this going to tie back to us in some way? I understand the knee jerk reaction, but I don't think it was the right way to go about it.
I'm really of two minds about this. First mind being, in my job, my normie job, not this podcasting hullabaloo, but my normie job, I can't say shit whatever I want on the internet. Like, it could go back to my job. So like you kind of have to be a little careful about what you say online, and that's just the case for all internet. It doesn't matter if she's working at DC Comics or if she's working at Walmart. What you say can come back to get you. That being said, I do think it's a little slippery slope when you fire someone over words. That's what she does, and I don't. Were her words in poor taste? Sure. Especially timing wise, sure. Irregardless about how you feel about Charlie Kirk, like, it is poor. The guy's dead. It's in poor taste. But DC has let people work on Red Hood who were actively doing things worse than words at the time, So it does seem reactionary to the worst extent. And I mean, like, I also like Gretchen. I don't know if we mentioned it so far. She is trans. So that is an added layer here for why she would say such a thing. And I can see the reasoning for her vitriol for something like this. And I don't blame her, but yeah, but it's also, you work in a job, that job can decide to fire you, especially in the US, for whatever they want. And if it seems a little bad on their end, they'll rather drop you.
Before I make any of my statements, I want to reiterate, because we've got 118 people with us here. I want to reiterate the framing of this conversation. This conversation is not about whether we agree or disagree with Charlie Kirk or anything like that. And so I want you, chat, to be really well behaved and be really good. And if you want to engage with each other and us, you have to chill, and you guys are doing great. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just reiterating it because a lot of people probably didn't hear me before. Jonathan Chu with the 5 spot. It's showing that DC let Lobdell do a 9-year Hood run knowing he sexually harassed women. Charlie Squirt said she doesn't get to live. So my response to that is, you're talking about a very different DC than the one that exists today. You cannot compare DC from 5, 10, 15, or 20 years ago to the DC of today. It's just not the same. It's not a boys' club anymore. Society is very different now. Scott Lobdell, Eddie Berganza, and all those kinds of bad actors have been pushed out, shoved out. And I don't think that any of them would get any space at the current DC. It's a different business.
Yeah.
It's also DC run by a woman at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Patel Philippe with the 5. What about those that bought Red Hood 1 before this came out? Y'all think any issues from them profiting from the cancellation on resale? No, I think that's fine.
I already judge resellers.
Yeah, like, I don't care for resellers in general, but yeah. I don't think that, like, they're scummy for Reselling is part of their business model.
Yeah, it's the name of the game.
Yeah. Entertain me with the 2 spot. DC said it's her post of cops aren't human beings. Yeah, there's a whole Comics Journal interview that we're going to get into that she was a part of, and I know DC had a part in as well. I'll be 100% with you guys. Comics Exposed, you're extremely close to getting banned. Don't do that. I would never, ever post anything controversial on social media. I think that's stupid. I think that what Gretchen did is stupid. I don't care how she feels about what happened. I think what she did is stupid. I think anybody who takes to social media, who has a job that they care about, to make flippant comments, it's not as if she was making a statement that was like, we need this at this time. This is, no, you made a flippant comment. You made jokes about a dead man. I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think it's cool to do. I don't think it's funny. And I'm not saying that someone can't think that this is funny. That's fine. The problem is that it doesn't matter what I think, and it doesn't matter what you think. It matters what DC thinks. Because DC employs her, and they don't think this is cool.
Yeah.
They have a lot of readership who would be horrified by this kind of comment, and were horrified by this kind of comment. We understand that a lot of comic book readers are probably fans of Charlie Kirk.
Sure.
And even if they're not, they probably don't agree with this kind of behavior. DC's making a decision that is about more than just whether or not it's okay to say whatever you want. And we live in a world where people have decided that it doesn't matter what you say on the internet. Newsflash, it sure the fuck does.
At the very least, it should.
It should, and it does, and we have been. And by we, I mean people who are sensitive to Gretchen's point of view.
Plight, yeah.
We have been in this very same spot when someone on the quote-unquote other side has been fired for making comments that we didn't agree with. And so you have to, if you consider yourself a logical, rational being, you have to look at this and say, wait a second. I have been in a position where someone has made a public comment that was racist or homophobic or whatever, and said, I wish they didn't have their platform. What did everybody say when J.K. Rowling was first exposed for what her thoughts are and said, oh, we need her canceled. We need the boycott and everything else. I understand there's a power and an influence difference there.
Yep.
I totally see that. But if we're just talking about wanting people canceled, you have to understand that you can't say everything you want to say.
Right. Right. And expect to not get something back, right? And not feel something back.
Yeah.
Especially on the internet. That's what it's built for.
Yeah, that's my thing too, Marco. It's like, especially on the internet, like I'm sure I have opinions on this that I would tell you guys off air, and I would be probably super animated about it. And we've talked, about stuff like this. But online, where the receipts, it just takes a 2-button press to get receipts. It's bad. There's actually a website. I don't know if you guys know about this too. There's a website right now that somebody compiled all these anti-Charlie Kirk tweets, and I'm sure Gretchen probably would have been on this list too. Where people have been compiling that with the person's full name, their city that they live in, and the job they work for. And if you want to contact their job, feel free. Just because they have a difference of opinion is what they people always like to say. So like, just don't post. It's not safe to post. That's kind of where I come from at it. Like because yeah, a company can just if you become too much of a liability, they're gonna just snip you.
They can.
Because they can, yeah.
and I'm sure there's a conversation that's being had about, is it's definitely not censorship, right? Because you're allowed to say the thing and you suffered a consequence. There's nothing blocking you from stating that thing, right?
Yeah.
But whether or not you feel like this is retribution or some kind of direct action
Yeah.
against an individual, I also don't think is the case. I think there was a way to express these feelings with a more measured take, and I think there's like there's a sliding scale there of how extreme can you get before it becomes a conversation point that you get some sort of consequence.
I I'm divorcing my favorite word. Divorcing the DC firing her and canceling the book from her words. I am not a trans woman. I cannot speak for Gretchen. I don't live that life. I don't know what seeing, the majority, hundreds of thousands of people question your
Identity.
existence.
Yeah.
I don't live that, so I can't speak for why she feels a certain way. And sure, sometimes the internet's all you got to really put your voice out there. If your voice is angry, you're going to be angry. I don't blame that. But the DC end of it all, like, DC's a big company that's doing really good right now. The last thing they want is eyes on it in a negative light.
I want to say, chat, we just had to ban someone. This conversation, I know there's a lot of new people here probably.
Yeah.
You should leave if you think this is a place where we are anti-trans or sympathetic to any of that kind of viewpoint. This is not that channel.
Yeah.
We're here to have a conversation openly and honestly about a hot button issue, but this is not the place for you if you typically involve yourself with that kind of bullshit. I need to make that super duper fucking clear.
Yeah.
We're all adults and we can handle a big hot button topic, but we're not going to get into bashing. I don't know Gretchen.
Yep.
And this has nothing to do with Gretchen being trans, as far as I'm concerned, as it relates to, saying anything negative about her. That's not the agenda on this channel. I want to make that extremely clear.
Yep.
I also want to respond to this comment from Sani. Are we equating racism and homophobia with someone having sympathy for a person who calls for the erasure of the trans community? Sani, let me make you understand something very clearly. Charlie Kirk was also a racist. I am Black. I am also Dominican. I have no sympathy or love for racists. This is not that type of conversation. Please do not try to make it that. What I am telling you is that if you ask for someone to be canceled because you don't like the things that they say, you have to be comfortable with it when it happens to someone whose words you support that also said something that makes people feel bad. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk is dead. She celebrated the death of a man. That is going to make people feel like shit. She could say that 50 million times privately. Saying it publicly is going to cause a reaction. That's just how it works. And it's on the day the guy died. You want to wait a week or two, maybe it's a different reaction. But the very day the guy died, I don't think that's smart.
Just from like a publishing standpoint, it's the day after your brand new big #1 came out. Let's keep it focused on that. I don't want to be corpo tie, but that's probably what I will be posting about. Like, hey, posting about this Red Hood book that is, first of all, gorgeous by Jeff Spokes.
Oh yeah.
Like, say what you will about the writing of it. It is a gorgeous book. And we don't get he probably did. We have at least were solicited till 5 or
Definitely 3
to 3. Could have drawn till 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame because now a whole team is out of work.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point as well. A lot of people lose work out of this, not just Gretchen.
And that's where I also feel bad too. It's like you're a little reckless, and that causes you to fuck over a whole bunch of other people too.
Yeah. There wasn't any thought put into, this would have a consequence to to the other individuals that I work with, and it's a situation where I'm sure the contract was paid because the pages were produced, but whether or not now there's like perpetuity and royalty, right? Like future revenue stream has been affected, especially for artists.
Yep.
It's a bit harder than a writer.
And Gretchen, I believe, it's typically, and I did some research into her, a horror writer fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like she can go ahead and do her own fiction book, and like she'll probably be okay. In fact, this might be a platform for her to actually people rise from the ashes of cancellation all the time. It makes people like them more sometimes. So maybe her next fiction piece will work out. She's probably not writing comics again.
Yeah.
But now Jeff Spokes gets fucked.
Yeah, I mean it sucks for Jeff Spokes. It sucks for everybody, involved. And I do feel for them. Let's talk about the Comics Journal article, because the Comics Journal was able to actually get some words from Gretchen and others who were involved in this. The article does include multiple tweets or Bluesky posts, whatever.
Yeah, what are they called?
Yeah, I have no idea. Clouds, I don't know. That are, in my opinion, reprehensible. The 9/11 tweet is just one of the worst things I've read. But it goes on to discuss how the firing occurred, and so I'll refer to the Comics Journal article now. And please watch the chat. I'm
keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, same.
I'm dodging it like freaking Lil Kim.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like, I'm so happy we have 150 people here right now, and I'm happy to see people like Logan Wayne and Richard Fearing, people that I typically see over on Near Mint Condition. I'm glad you guys are hanging out with us today. And if you're new here and you are a level-headed individual who wants to, be involved thoughtfully in a controversial topic, that's great, and I'm happy to have you. But if you're here because you want to celebrate the firing of a trans person because you hate trans people or whatever agenda you have, you really should exit, and I would rather you not be here. And I just want to make that super duper clear.
Or if you're here to celebrate the death of a human being,
yeah, that too.
Do it somewhere else, I guess. I'm not going to stop you from doing it.
Say it strong.
Yeah.
Do it somewhere else. This ain't the place for that.
I'm doing on Bluesky.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, no, that's not the silo that you think it is.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to make that super duper clear. But here we go. All right. Quote, according to Fletcher-Martin, however, none of this was an expressed concern of DC at the time that she was approached by editor Ariana Totoro to write the Red Hood book early in 2024. We had a conversation about it, and I told them, as soon as you hire me, you're going to get between 5 and 100 of the craziest people you've ever met in your life screaming for my head and yours, she said. According to Fletcher-Martin, there were no terms or limitations placed on the writer's public comments or use of social media as far as DC was concerned. A spokesperson for DC, however, said that all creators working for the company, including Fletcher-Martin, are given a written set of guidelines for social media use, with which they are asked to comply. 2 other DC creators contacted for this article confirmed that this is the case. Following the announcement of her involvement in the Red Hood book, Fletcher-Martin became the subject of vocal criticism from news outlets and prominent comics figures on the political right. Blah, 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 blah. There were some internal hesitation about going forward. This is a quote from Fletcher-Martin. Just because of the breadth and vitriolic nature of everything going on. I know the concern was coming from higher up. I don't know who exactly, just that it was coming from someone at the more executive level. A spokesperson for DC Comics confirmed that a call did take place with Fletcher-Martin at that time, and the general nature of the conversation was to ask Fletcher-Martin to be mindful of the tone and intended audience of her social posts. I think I did a fairly good job of it, Fletcher-Martin said, until Charlie Kirk's murder on September 10th. At that point, only a day after Red Hood's first issue had reached comic shops, her social media presence returned to previous form. Even in hindsight, however, Fletcher-Martin stands by her comments. Quote, it just didn't strike me as an especially hot flashpoint. This is such a loathsome person. Everyone on the entire internet is talking about how pleasant it is that he got his. I saw, and let me pause. I know that this is a sensitive topic. If this is bothering you to hear these words, I'm sorry. These are the words that were used, and I have to read them. I saw that he had died in the middle of spreading more of the bigotry that he spent his every waking moment promulgating. And in a way, that he had died advocating for others to die and felt nothing but contempt for his life. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I want to say that Gretchen is entitled to her opinion.
Yeah.
And it's easy to understand why she would feel this way, again, given some of the things that Charlie has said. She does, however, concede that under the circumstances, quote, I can only put it down to really just a moment of poor impulse control. And I thought for another second, of course I would have known that it would be a problem for DC. And naturally, as soon as I had said it, I did know.
Yeah.
At 10:30 p.m., Fletcher-Martin said she received a phone call from her editor at DC, from DC editor-in-chief Marie Javins, who told her, quote, the story of the issue's release had gone from being celebratory to something that DC and Warner could not stand behind or defend. When Fletcher-Martin asked why this was the case, she says Javins replied that any kind of promotion of violence or harm is unacceptable to them. I said I've listened to Charlie Kirk be an overt Nazi for years of my life and had no regrets over what I said about him. A DC spokesperson confirms that Fletcher-Martin was informed of the book's cancellation in a phone call on September 10th and that Javins was among those on the call, though the spokesperson did not offer the specifics as to the content of the conversations. I'm almost done here. Many comments from, others and things of that nature. Roxanne Gay, who worked for Marvel at some point, said that it's an absolute shame that DC fired Fletcher-Martin for exercising free speech. Every writer here should be decrying this because we have to stand up for each other. This is ridiculous.
Before we get into our thoughts, I wanted to catch up on some of the super chats.
Yeah, before I lose in the chat.
Yeah, same. Yeah, Gabber Nerd with the €10. I think that if you post something on the internet, there's clearly going to be consequences, but it's funny that DC turns a blind eye for some and not for others. Well, we'll get to that.
Hold on. Can we not read the super chats right now? Can we just stay on topic? I want to deal with those later.
Sure.
I think first and foremost, the fact that DC has sort of these parameters and guidelines for behavior online, I believe.
Don't they have like an actual document about this?
I don't know that they have an actual document, but they definitely have provide a verbal confirmation that there's an expectation. You have to go through an NDA process. Peek behind the curtain for that is personal experience applying for work there. Like there is a level of expectation that you have to be able to, while working with them, maintain some level of decorum.
Sure.
And so from that end, that totally makes sense. And this being something that puts DC in a bad position to be Corporal Marco.
That's just Marco.
It puts them in a potentially bad position, a precarious position, especially for such a hot button issue. And you want to be careful with those things because you don't want that to ladder up and have people then jump on to the company. That's the company's thinking.
Yeah.
And so I think from that end, the reaction here, it's warranted.
And I do at least applaud Gretchen for being like, hey, I fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I maybe should have thought about it a little longer. And I guess that is understandable. Yeah, because like and like I understand the outcry from other comic book creators because it's just like, hey, if they can do that with this person, why they can do it for me? Well, also maybe you be careful about what you post online. You should always be careful about the internet in every sense of the word. Like there was there was like that Jubilee video. I don't know if you ever watched those Jubilee debate videos that Charlie Kirk was
Yeah.
on a couple months back. But there was one where like some doofus called himself a fascist. He's like, "Oh, I'm a fascist," and then like he got fired after the video.
I heard that was a lie.
Well, it was a lie. He got fired before the recording of it, but he said
Yeah,
it was.
that's right.
But like, if there is, like, you're not going to get arrested for saying it. Yeah, yikes. So there's no legally you're fine, you know, but you do like that right to free speech does not extend to the workplace in terms of your employment. Like the employment law in the U.S. sucks. They can fire you over anything. And
Right.
if that happens for a guy who calls himself a fascist and he gets fired, yeah, that happens. That's when, you know, I would be saying, oh yeah, your right to free speech does not apply to employment. But the inverse has to apply too. You know, just because somebody says something that, you know, maybe is of the realm of things I you know, politically agree with, doesn't mean that they're not also subject to the same, you know, issues at work.
I'm going to go back to the article.
Yep.
For her own part, Fletcher-Martin said that she regrets that the rest of her creative team had been drawn into this situation and that she had spoken privately with them following the book's cancellation. For DC, however, she remains blunt, referring to herself as, quote, a more disposable person to the publisher, partly due to her trans identity. She cites instances of what she feels were other controversial writers given more leeway by the publisher, noting specifically two high-profile former writers of Batman, Tom King and Jeff Loeb. Frankly, I feel that they were more interested in my cachet as a transgressive horror author. And the moment that became politically disadvantageous for them, they cut and ran. I have no desire to be part of any organization that wants to pretend that people like Charlie Kirk are decent human beings who deserve respect. In that sense, then, it could be argued that Fletcher-Martin's critics achieved their immediate aim. Comicsgate aligned news sites Bounding into Comics and Cosmic Book News both ran stories hailing Red Hood's cancellation. And on his, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
You about to name
Look,
the boogeyman?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't need to get into that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
look, I gotta say, there is a level of there's a level of accountability that has to be there. I don't know the content of the conversations between Gretchen and the co-creators on the book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully there was accountability.
I'm
Gretchen
glad that
doesn't.
happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gretchen doesn't have to feel bad for the comments. But hopefully there is an accountability of, hey, you know, probably shouldn't have done this, and I fucked up other people's pay. Because Gretchen has horror writing to fall back on.
Right.
Jeff Spokes and the colorist and the inker potentially and the
Yeah.
letterer, this is what they do for work. Also, it's worth pointing out that as a writer, Gretchen may well have been ahead on scripts and may have already been paid for work done on
Yep.
those future scripts, whereas I don't know that issues 2, 3, 4, or 5 of this series have been drawn. And if
Mhm.
they haven't been worked on, then those creators don't receive any money for those books. But you got to understand in comics, what being attached to a series means is consistent work.
Yeah.
So now you had work that was lined up for you for at least 5 months. That is now not the case. These creators need to now find other work. Jeff Spokes is very talented. He'll be okay. Hopefully everybody lands on their feet.
Well, that's the difference between like writing fiction and writing comics. It's your fiction is just you and your editor.
Right.
Comics is collaborative. So there is a sense of like that I can't escape in the selfishness of it, of the impulsiveness of it all. Because when you're also like, yeah, Jeff Spokes will be okay, but he's not going to have a book out for a while. Which, when you don't have eyes on the product as an artist, you lose heat. You need to have your book out there for it to be advantageous for you. Thankfully, I think Jeff Spokes' art will see it again. It'll be fine. Hopefully, they can give him a less abrasive comic book writer attached to his work. But yeah, it is a bummer just from like a comics, and I know it's a bigger political discussion, but I'm focusing on the comics end of it. It's a bummer on the comics end.
Yeah, 100%.
And also, have you ever seen Red Hood fans? They're nuts. Like that alone was going to have controversy attached to it.
I mean, they're attracted to Jason Todd.
Fair.
Like these
fair,
people are, listen, I'm not going to disagree with you on that one.
Book was always going to be canceled then.
Well,
I'm actually not sure I disagree with that. I'm not so sure this book had long legs to begin with.
It also was supposed to take over a thematic element of Hush 2 that we haven't even got to yet, right?
Yeah. Well, it in some way, it's the aftermath of Hush 2. So on some level, it is a direct follow-up. And I haven't read the first issue, but I know there were aspects of it that address how Hush 2 ends. So let's now get into the super chats that we've missed out on. The conversation is not over. Thank you to all 177 of you who are here, who are capable of having a civil discussion. That is the most we've ever had watching this show live. I wonder why. Hit the subscribe button if you appreciate the tone and tenor of this conversation. Thank you so much for being here. Let's keep it going. Ben Loudly with the $2. Jeff Spokes got any prior projects? Yeah, he just worked on Jenny Sparks,
which I loved. I think you should check out Jenny Sparks.
I think the art in Jenny Sparks was really good.
The book is good too, I'm telling you. I mean, it's very post 9/11, but yeah.
Steve Canaris with a 5 spot. I'm off to SPX, but wanted to thank the pals for tackling a tough issue with maturity and decency. That's why I love this community.
Shout out to SPX. If you have pictures, please post them later. I definitely want to go see.
Thank you, Steve. Love you too, man. Enjoy SPX.
Yeah.
Ted H with a 10 spot. The book seemed doomed from the beginning. Jason fans were already expressing disdain for what the cover artist said and the writer said on X and in interviews. Luckily, I ordered 6 covers and received all.
Amazing.
That's a man thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What do you have, a crystal ball, Ted?
Yo.
What's Ted's with Sean Stack win record?
Not well, I feel like.
No.
Not good.
All right. Well,
Overestimates.
This one worked out.
Matt Fisher with the $9.99. Only time I'll say anything political in this channel. I am a Democrat, but a man died in front of his kids. No one has a right to say stuff like that and not expect reprisal. Now, look, I agree with Matt in the sense that social media is a place where what you say can have consequences. Freedom of speech is not freedom from consequence. That is a real life fact. And so anyone who brings up freedom of speech in this context, that is not really relevant, quite frankly. It doesn't apply to these kinds of situations. And so in that regard, I agree, because I would feel this way if a comic book writer came out and said anything that was remotely close to something anti-trans, I wouldn't want them in this space. I have no need for them. I'm good on them. And if they came out and made fun of a, pro-trans public speaker's death after an assassination, I would have a big problem with that. But I would be a hypocrite if I didn't apply that same logic on both ends.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. If this was instead of a firing, it was like an arrest, I would have a whole different discussion here.
Yeah. Then we're just living in a fucking hellscape. What are we doing?
Yeah. But yeah, this is like, I know like all like the lefty comic book people who I typically agree with 99% of the time need to realize like this is also the same case. It's just not freedom from consequence. Does the consequence suck? Yeah, it does. But it is a consequence.
It's a consequence, and you have to think ahead. You're individuals who are of either high or increasingly high profile, and that's a lot of eyeballs.
Yep, a lot of balls.
And there are a lot of things that individuals have to consider and worry about in life in general. You can't just do whatever you want and expect no consequence.
And also, as a comic book writer, your social media is your marketing. Like, I'm sorry, like your social media, if you have a big 2 book coming out, that's the marketing of DC right there. They're not going to market the book for you. You're marketing the book.
But let's also say, like, she's not a comic book writer in the sense
Sure.
that this isn't her bread and butter. Like,
Right.
there
Yeah.
are a lot of comic book writers who have had to learn, in some cases the hard way, the dance of social media. How you have to tiptoe around the shit you feel like saying. When you feel like saying some controversial shit, pick up the phone, don't go on Twitter, call your buddy who's sympathetic to your kind of thought, and rant and rave.
Call me. I love a nice juicy gossip yap session.
There you go. Call Tyler.
Yeah.
On the phone, kicking your toes.
Oh yeah. I'm like sitting on top of the dishwasher. Like when you're on the phone, you just randomly end up somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kingdom of Nerds with the 20 spot. Thank you so much, brother. Says, love you guys. Thank you for always having honest discussions. One thing you can be guaranteed of on this channel is we ain't running from shit. If there's a big conversation to be had, we're gonna have it. It's just the way it is. Thank you, Kingdom of Nerds, for appreciating that.
Yep.
We've got a couple more to get through super chat wise, and then we'll return to the overall discussion. Gabber Nerd with another 10-year-old. Thank you so much, Gabber Nerd. I disliked Red Hood #1, but I agree with her Kurt comment. I know it's controversial, but it's my opinion. Thanks for discussing this tough but necessary topic. Look, again, you are free to agree. You're free to agree. You're free to disagree. You didn't post that on social. Your job is safe. Your employer is not looking at this comment section. You know what I mean? So you're good, and this
That'd
is
be
a safe
crazy
space.
if it was. If they were.
It would. This is a safe
Let them
space
know.
for you to say what you feel like you need to say. But brother, we need to understand that this was not the place. You know what I mean? Bluesky wasn't the place.
It does this play out differently if this is behind a Substack paywall?
That's a good question.
No, I don't think so.
No?
Oh, behind the paywall. No,
Behind the paywall.
Somebody would screenshot it. It'd be out
Well,
there.
somebody would screenshot it, but that is not the public square, right? That
It's
is
still
you have
public.
to.
It's publicly accessible. Sure, there's a barrier, but it's still publicly accessible.
But I think there the aim is to guard yourself from the expectation that social media as a freely available space is a place where you have to curtail your opinion. Whereas if I'm saying this privately to my group of followers, that is only available through
followers. Your cult leader.
No, but you know what I mean. That feels a little different to me.
No, because if somebody screenshots it and it gets to your boss, they're gonna be like, "Well, people were paying for it, so it's fine. I guess it doesn't matter." No, you still said it. Now it's out there. The internet is not a safe space. I think that's a good word. Yeah, the internet's not safe across the board. Look who owns all the social media platforms. Actually, yes. No, don't post anything on social media
At all.
No, look who owns
Get
it.
rid
The
of
same
it.
people that are essentially funding a third of the government.
Oh man. Hey, so this didn't just affect the creative team and the book itself. It also affected DC's plans for Batman Day.
Damn.
Which is
What?
crazy. Yeah.
Batman Day's ruined.
Batman Day's ruined by Fletcher-Martin.
Once again,
I'm just kidding.
okay,
Careful,
hold on,
easy.
hold on.
Careful.
I'm just.
I was gonna say once again, a gun ruined Batman,
Oof.
but
Fuck.
that is dark. But
sorry.
Hey. So DC's Batman Day is September 20th, which is next Saturday. We will be acknowledging it here on the channel. Red Hood's cancellation is a big deal because the Gotham sampler that DC planned to put out for Batman Day includes Red Hood. In fact, the sampler shows Batman and Red Hood adjacent to each other. And it says, get in on the ground floor with previews of Batman, Red Hood, and more.
Whoops.
So the and more, yeah, right, yeah, exactly. The and more, I'm imagining without having an explicit knowledge, would include some of the other Batman titles that are happening right now. And unfortunately, now the Gotham sampler has been canceled. Quote, DC requests that retailers do not hand out the Batman Gotham sampler on Batman Day 25. DC Comics will credit retailers for all invoice copies of Batman Day 25, bundles of 25, all reorders of the Gotham Sampler have been canceled. Yada yada yada.
The Gotham Sampler sounds like the equivalent of like Gotham, like a Gotham newspaper.
Oh, I was thinking like a Chili's triple dipper.
Restaurant Week, Gotham Sampler.
Yeah, yeah. It has Condiment King put it together.
Um, this is wild, man. And it's interesting because I feel like in so many of the books that we were reading last week and the week prior, they included a bunch of previews for Red Hood. Like they were really pushing
yeah.
this and
Yeah.
positioning it. And this makes sense because, if you didn't pick it up, here is this that you can now be able to preview. We really want to put success behind this. This felt like direct marketing behind the books, which, if we tie that back, makes sense why they would have such a reaction to Gretchen.
It's almost surprising. Out of all of this, the most surprising part is how much emphasis DC was putting on Red Hood.
Yeah.
I think Marco makes a really good point in that, this book clearly meant something to DC in the sense that they thought, hey, here's an opportunity to do something with Red Hood, who we think is coming out hot after Hush. We've got this writer who has a built-in audience and fan base. We can make something out of this. And it blew up in their faces catastrophically.
Yeah. Do you think if this was the writer of Batman #1, they would have canceled it?
Oh my God.
So
like,
I
so like if
I
Matt
don't-
Fraction said this, so is that what you mean?
Sure. I don't want to put that on Matt Fraction. I want to say Gretchen was writing Batman. Batman proper. I would say
yes.
I don't think they cancel it.
Look, I think it's easier to cancel Red Hood than
Yes.
Batman.
Yep.
But I think if your most high profile book has a writer on it that's saying that, you cannot okay, maybe the book isn't canceled, but there's no chance in hell Gretchen is still writing it.
Right. They're gonna really push Hush 2 to come out ASAP. And
Jim, we need you off that cruise.
yeah, I definitely think so. If it were the case, they would have absolutely removed the person. Hey, this person was removed because of whatever. It would have been a press release because of this specifically. Again, still like they're putting money behind this, advertised behind this.
I think the book comes out and they start the next issue that they can do right away with a whole new, not creative team. They can even keep Jeff Spokes. Maybe they write the original writer on the covers instead. Alan Moore wrote this.
If this weren't a mini, maybe there's a world where, like what you're saying, like they just say, okay, we'll find the immediate jumping off point from Gretchen, and then just slot someone else in. But I don't know, man. This is just too hot. It's too hot.
Right.
I just don't think there's any world where they cancel Batman.
They would have called somebody like a ringer and be like, "You have 30 days."
But like in my eyes, like them not canceling Batman just shows like it's corporate. That's all it is. This is too important to their bottom line for them to do anything too drastic about.
That book is.
Yeah.
Izzy's issues with the 2 spot. The most rational space online. I love the pals. Thank you, Izzy. Love you. Banksy Main just wanted to say much respect to you, Sean. You make a great leader. Thank you. But you guys being able to be a part of this conversation so civilly makes what I'm doing easy to do. I'm just not going to allow. I don't dig on prejudice, and that's a full stop issue for me. So that's it. I'm no one special. I just will not stand for it.
Man, Sean has the new glasses, and now he's saying jive and dig. I'm with it.
I'm becoming a blaxploitation caricature.
Don't tell Quentin.
Atomic Hound with the $9.99. Rip de-escalation and thoughtful discourse in the vast swath of society. Pal's doing a great job with the news story of the week, comics or otherwise. Thank you. And that's a big deal, what Atomic Hound is saying. This is the news story of the week.
Yeah.
And I waffled a little tiny bit in my head about how to handle this. But the reality is, how the fuck can we show up on a Saturday at 10 a.m. and not be talking about the biggest news story in comics? Be cowards.
Yeah, the red-hooded elephant in the room.
There you go.
Exactly.
Jay Sage with the $4.99. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't just click to hear the pals agree with you. How to support the channel. It's a great nuanced conversation. Thank you. I see, I can't respond to every comment, but I see all of you telling people to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. The regulars here are doing an incredible job. Thank you so much for understanding the type of time this channel is on, and encouraging the new folks to subscribe if you guys are into what you're hearing. Thank you so much. And we achieved our goal already. Look at you guys.
Sick.
Let's go.
Yeah, love it.
Can't wait for the end of show humiliation ritual.
Humiliation.
Well, if it's me or Marco. Actually, no, Marco won last time. It's just for me.
Do it again.
Damn.
Andres with the 5 spot. Hey pals, newish to the channel. I didn't like this Red Hood anyways. Do any of you have any thoughts on the comic or thoughts on future direction? You know what, Andres? I got to be honest with you, dude. I didn't read it. I didn't buy it because I'm not a big Red Hood fan. I don't know Fletcher-Martin's work, and I heard things that gave me pause. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't coming into this with good feelings because I had already read some things that Gretchen had said in other spaces that I don't like.
About comics?
Or no,
more
about
personal opinions?
The 9/11 tweet really bothered me.
Got it. Okay.
I wasn't cool with that. And so
do you want to say what it? I didn't see it, so I don't know what that.
Yeah. I'll that's okay. I'll read it off. Can pretty safely state that, and this was 2023, by the way.
Okay.
Can pretty safely state that Bin Laden and I did not agree on much, but blowing up the World Trade Center is probably the most principled and defensible thing he ever did. That is a disgusting.
Yikes.
That is a disgusting, despicable thing to say. As a New Yorker, my aunt was there that day. My aunt could have died that day. And so I don't respect this comment. And I know it's not a joke.
There's a discussion you could have about American blowback causing 9/11, but that is not that discussion.
And you know what? To be fair to Gretchen, let me not be one of those people. To be fair to Gretchen, this is the tweet that preceded that. Israel poured money, weapons, and military training into Hamas as part of their far-reaching efforts to kill, atomize, and jail left-wing Palestinian leadership and organizations. They made these events inevitable through their own cruelty and fascism. So she was making a larger point.
It's like a blowback discussion. Yeah.
But that tweet, to me, is just full stop. Thousands of Americans died. They didn't deserve that. If you say you agree with that, you're fucking nuts. And so that's my opinion on that. Sorry if that is too much for anybody, but Tyler asked me to read it, so there you go.
Blame me.
I don't get down with that. Rami Darwish with a 5 spot as a Democrat, and I stress on that. Today's episode gave me a new perspective on the situation. Thanks, guys, on this professional discussion. You're welcome. You're welcome, and I'm glad that we have so many people here who are able to understand that this is not a binary left-right conversation. There's always nuance. No. Context is king. Always. Yeah,
this is a New Yorkers versus the world discussion, guys.
That I don't disagree with.
And that you're willing to take on that new perspective, right? Because I think there's something to be said about that you have to be able to come halfway to engage with that.
Yes, exactly. We've banned one person only.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And
we warned them.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
exactly. Amin Perez gifting some channel memberships, gifting 5 channel memberships. Thank you so much, Amin. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, so Jay Gomez, Samuel Summers, Jasper Eddy, Clayton Bergstrom, and JetX got some memberships. There's stuff on there. There's one about Avengers on there right now, I believe.
Yeah. We've and we didn't get to make this announcement on the show yet. But all month long, all September long, we've already been giving you guys a video every day. Every weekday that we're not live, there is a video on our channel. We are not just a live channel. Click the video tab and you will see that we have countless videos out. We're putting them up all week long, all month long, every weekday. You will see us. We are in your face.
And this show's on Saturdays, so the only respite you have is Sundays. So get your rest in on Sundays.
Yep. That's the day of rest.
I have the trigger ready for whenever for the.
Ooh, poor turn of phrase
well,
there.
You guys know. Well, yeah, that was a little.
Jesus,
you
come
guys
on,
know
Marco.
what we do when someone gifts channel memberships on this channel. We gift them right back. So go ahead, Marco.
All right, here we go. About to say they're firing off.
Come on.
My God, be sensitive.
All right, we got Near, MD Johnny, Joseph Swaged, Sammy Southers, and Scott Green. Congratulations.
Cool.
Love it. Near's name doesn't look right to me without the TCP logo next to it. I gotta say.
That's true. Yeah.
I just want to make sure we hit every single super chat. Don't want to leave. No super chats left behind. Kenneth Williams with a $4.99 says, "My campus had a bomb threat this week."
Or
following
a
all the
shooting
stuff
threat.
going on. Oh, I'm sorry, a shooting threat.
It's a water gun. Thanks, YouTube.
Y'all be safe out there. Dude, we're in New York, man. You never know. Anything could happen around these parts.
I saw a video of someone on the subway, a woman grading her
Oh my
her
God, the
feet,
cheese. Yeah,
and looking like it was Olive Garden. So yeah,
Dude.
that's New York for you, babe.
wild.
That's the most vile thing that I could imagine happening on a train.
It was a lot too, Sean. Jesus Christ.
Straight up parm,
All
dude.
bunion foot cheese.
But bro, did you not see it? It was on one of the meme pages. Like
Sometimes I'm a little jealous about you guys that you don't see the shit I have to see on the internet.
I saw that. I saw that one because it was like retweeted
Sure.
like New Yorkers or something.
Sure, yeah.
I would have to close my account after that. That is vile.
Nah, I bought a Caesar salad at Chopped afterwards.
No, no.
I was like, thanks for the idea.
Tyler.
So a little extra on the top.
Hey, not dodging the foot allegations with that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, now you're so into feet. You're watching people grate their feet.
I didn't look for it.
But you watched it. I'm not gonna sit there and watch.
I was
somebody grate
curious.
their
I was
foot.
curious to see how much that could come out.
Curious.
I bet.
Yeah.
Ben
Sniffing
Loudly.
my phone.
Ben Loudly is curious about something that he decided to spend $5 on. Would bringing on someone to rescript or change the dialogue of the already drawn Red Hood issues fly in this situation? Ben, I think it's too hot, brother.
Yeah, you also still have to credit her because she did script what is being drawn. If it's re-dialogued, sure, you can add another name to the title, but you still have the credit.
J-Dub, Comics Pals VI Pal member for 18 months. That's
Hell
a
yeah.
year
Damn.
and 6 months you've been with us, brother. Thank you.
You could have
Much
Irish
love,
twins with
pals.
that.
Right. Much love, pals. It's hard out here for us Jason fans. That's who I probably feel the worst for, quite frankly, is the Jason Todd fans.
Hold on, J-Dub, you're saying you're a Jason fan, but you have Nightwing as your profile picture. Pick a side.
Fake, bro. Fake.
Fade.
Pick a side.
That's
and it's a
crazy.
Nightwing backshot pick. I know who you are.
You got those cake. You got that cake,
I
dude.
know who you are.
That's
J-Dub,
crazy.
you better change your profile picture to the cover of issue 1 of Red Hood.
Live.
You better do
Live.
it now.
Because I'm sure that won't give him a reputation.
You better do it now.
Pick a less controversial Red Hood, like one written by Scott Lobdell. Oh shit! Wait a minute.
Samuel Summers with the 2 spot. Thank you guys for this episode. Thank you for watching and being level-headed. I appreciate you, man. Ted H with the 10 spot. I despise that Thing's character and very existence, yet I am capable of mourning his demise and feeling for his family. At least choose words wisely, less emotive, but still effectively expressing F you. You know, I don't wholly disagree with that. I think there are ways to say what it is that you want to get across without going for the jugular, so to speak.
Yep. And that's
Sean,
exactly what should have.
I genuinely didn't mean that. I'm
Oh
so
my
sorry.
God, dude.
I am so sorry. What
That's
I meant to
fine.
say
I
was
got you. I got you. Right,
Yeah.
I got you.
Going
Yeah.
as
Jesus
hard as you do, as you
Christ.
do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, Ted H, I was like, what the fuck did Ben Grimm do?
Right?
It's like you got to just keep reading. You get to it.
Amin Perez joined the channel as a VI pal. Thank you so much, dude.
Hell
And
yeah.
throwing those emojis out there ASAP. Love to see.
Brian Atkins asks, "What does a membership get you? What does a membership get you, Sean?"
Well, thank you for asking. A membership not only gets you emojis in the chat, it not only gets you the green name and the TCP logo next to your name, but it gives you timed exclusive access to videos that we put out every week, and it gives you exclusive access. No one will ever see this but you, to Pen Pals, a channel or a show on our channel exclusive for channel members where we answer your questions. No one else will ever be able to see them but our channel members.
J-Dub changed it to the Red Hood cover.
Thank you, J-Dub. There
That's
you go.
wild.
You're a real one.
You picked the one with the bloody Jason Todd on it, though.
J Sage with the 2 spot. I like Nightwing and Red Hood. We exist. Okay.
I'm not about bi erasure, so I recognize you.
Uncaged says, can we please address the cancellation culture? People are now calling for cancellation. This has been a long hour. Well, I'm sorry you find that it's been a long hour. Uncaged, you know that this channel is about honesty, and we are expressing our honest feelings. So I'm sorry if that makes you uncomfortable. As far as the cancellation culture, people calling for cancellation, we already know the game.
Yeah.
This is not, I'm not a political pundit. You know, that's not, my job is not to hold people's feet to the fire. But yes, of course, we are aware that there is a double standard. We shit on Comicsgate. We shit on all the idiots in our space, because that's what this channel is about. It's not about outside our space. In our space, we call out the hypocrisy whenever we see it. The dumbass idiots who will tell you that every mainstream comic sucks except the one that they are trying to grift sell you. Yes, we call that out when we see it.
Yeah,
of course we do.
Cancellation for thee, but not for me, is always the method that this happens in.
No one forget what we're about on this channel. Come on, please. You know us better than that. Before we close the topic, and again, we have a major interview announcement to come. We have big news to come. There is way more show to get into. We have 182 motherfuckers here with us right now.
Holy shit.
I've never seen that, and I am very glad to see that. And hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You guys know the routine. If you fuck with us. Before we move forward, special shout out to the people who make this possible, our sponsors, you, the patrons, patreon.com/thecomicspals. Special shout out to our pals vs. Legends, the Hound of Justice, Atomic Hound, Starcross, Catherine Stars, the Spear of Judgment, Jay's Jumble, Jalen Jackson, the Sanguine Sorcerer, Safe Haven, Hayden's Hideout, Jesse and the Juggernaut, Kyle, Entertain Me, Panda v Panda, Ted Wong, and thank you to Pals vs. Members, the Night Stalker, Harris Sajinski, Brian Demolish, Del Pozo, Kefis the Incorruptible, Momentum, Mike Elliott, Dan the True Trudeau, Marley Manastorm, Slow Throw Dammer, and Christian Uncaged, who I literally just talked to. Always Laughing, the Spear of Justice, Izzy's Issues, Robert Runback, Cashaback Pete, the Dreamweaver Collins, James Just Jamming Jones, Paul Powerhouse Smith, Neon Knight, the Cosmic Avenger, Matthew the Shade Cosmo, BJ Kicks, the Living Blade Boss Frontier. By the way, BJ Kicks, congratulations on 20K subscribers, brother.
Hey.
You deserve it. You are amazing.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. He was in the chat earlier.
Yes,
he's in the chat.
He's
in the chat right now.
The Grand Alchemist, Chop Harder Alchemist, John Barrier B, and Doomsday David Melendez Doria. If you didn't hear your name and you're supposed to, keep listening. You will soon. Also, we are about 7-ish patrons away from 200.
Ooh.
Holy shit. All members, all up.
It's free to join our Patreon page.
Yeah.
If we get to 200 in September, we'll do a giveaway.
What are we giving away, Marco?
Dude, I have so many books to give away.
No, I mean like you.
Oh, myself?
That's
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I got a box big enough.
So let's get it to 200. If you want to support us financially, pick a tier. If you just want to be a part of the giveaway, join the Patreon. Yeah. And we'll make the giveaway exclusive to our patrons. How about that? As an added incentive. So we get to 200, we'll do a giveaway over there. Let's do it.
There's this comment that says at BJ, Tyler is a bit like our Colombian aunt.
Huh.
You know what? Sure. I probably got like those fruit magnets on my fridge.
We still got the plastic on the sofa.
Rafael Feliciano Padua, welcome to the channel membership. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you, brother.
And good night. Says he's going to peace out. It's really late here in the Philippines. Great discussion. Thank you so much for tuning in from the Philippines, dude.
Cool.
Amazing.
Nier says he give away that X of Swords omnibus, Ten of Swords.
It's a prop at this point. We can't give that away. That's like the grail for the
Yeah.
show.
That is a weapon.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
my home defense. I don't have a bat. I have Ten of Swords.
It's right there behind the door when you open it.
Musha Boom 90 with the 1999.
Musha boom.
Don't have much to say. Love the channel and the Saturday lives get me through work. Appreciate the good work. Hey, thank you 1,000,000% for that, brother. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I'm sure it means a lot to all of us.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that we can help you get through your work, man. Thank you. You're helping us get through our work. Shit. And then Matt Fisher with 499. Sean, I don't have a palm big enough to contain the face palm. What do you mean? What did I do?
You know, your little Freudian slip earlier. But
Oh
yeah.
my God. Why are you bringing up old shit, Matt?
He's on delay. His Uber signal is bad. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, that's right. He's driving right now.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Mike critiques. They gave away K on the last giveaway.
Yo,
That's so funny.
He's chained up Black Snake Moan style as someone's.
two people just joined. Oh no, I'm sorry. But what am I saying? I was going to say
What?
two people just joined the
Patreon?
but that wasn't today. But I do want to say thanks to Nicholas Munster and Evan Dalton, all the same, for joining the Patreon the other day. So
Hell
thank
yeah.
you so much for that.
Yeah, Munster says I just joined last night. Cheeks apparently says just joined.
Cheeks.
Thank you, Cheeks. Thank you.
What's
thank
up,
you.
Cheeks?
What up, Cheeks?
That's a good ass nickname.
How did we
dude.
get from
yeah.
the beginning moments of the show to saying, "What up, Cheeks"?
Because you never know what's going to happen on the Comics Pals live stream.
Oh boy.
That's why you don't know the vibe. It's always fun.
Ooh, they also don't know who the potential guest is. So I saw a few guesses earlier.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Do you guys have any closing statements you want to make about the topic at hand, or?
No, I don't want to be up on that website.
Yeah. Be sensitive to other people. I think is probably the biggest thing I'd say. Whatever your belief on the situation is, just be sensitive to it.
You got that empathy addition to your processor, huh, Marco?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, finally upgraded.
Yeah, new processes. It dropped a few other things. I haven't run a full diagnostic check though.
Yeah, my final statement is think before you post, and always remember. And I'm on record. I've said this many times. People have Twitter fingers locked and loaded, but they don't say shit in real life. And I'm not saying that Gretchen is that person. What I'm saying is that we all have to consider the things we say before we say them, because there are always consequences. Whether it's getting punched in the mouth, whether it's, being shot, whether it's being fired, whatever it is, consequences follow action and are always motivated by your actions. So the less actions you take that are actionable, the less likely you are to be on the receiving end of consequence.
And when you're tweeting or posting about something, that's just words, yes, but those words lead to thoughts, and those thoughts lead to actions. Like, so even though just words isn't really just words ever.
I agree with that statement 100,000,000%. And we'll leave it there on that subject matter. Now, to announce the guest that we are having this Wednesday, so you don't have long to wait. 6 p.m. Yeah, Marco?
Yes.
Yeah, 6 p.m. We will be joined by one of our favorite writers right now, someone who is killing it on every book that he is writing. We are speaking about the belle of the ball right now, the writer of Batman Dark Patterns, Dan Waters, is joining us this Wednesday, 6 p.m. We are going to get to gush about the brilliance of Batman Dark Patterns. We're going to talk about everything that Dan Waters is doing. I am so hyped to have this conversation.
Talk a little bit of Shredder as well. Thanks, IDW.
Shredder.
Yeah, huge shout out to IDW for setting it up.
Well, we can even talk about the one hand and the six fingers.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, we finally we
Absolutely.
getting the other end of it there. Talked to Ram
Absolutely.
about it.
That's gonna be fun.
Super pumped, dude.
And I could finally ask him, what is he watering? Is it a plant? You know?
Yeah,
The,
probably.
the seeds of his own talent.
The creative seeds
That's
is
right.
what he's watering. Got it. Cool.
Sam Summers with the 10 spot. I want to challenge the pals to start raising the goal to 20. I want you all to be swimming in money. Also, how much money would it cost for you to do a Radiant Black book club?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's
Dude, hey, it's good.
Marco, did you do like a Patreon thing about Radiant Black at one point?
No, I just started reading the whatever that first collected edition was, the first
Yeah,
like
yeah,
18
yeah.
plus issues.
So Sam Summers, I love you because you're always trying to push us forward, and I really appreciate that. The goal being at 20 for the GOAT game, maybe we can work our way up to that. I'm a little unsure, about that, but we haven't missed it once yet, which I'm really proud of, and I hope that we can continue that that reality going forward. And how much money would it cost us to do a Radiant Black book club? Well, how much comics bucks do you guys think?
I don't have a number for it. I mean, here's the thing. I'll read any comic. I'll talk about any comic. But I don't think any of us really cared much for Radiant Black.
I when I started reading it back, honestly, I had a lot of fun.
I would be very happy to do a Radiant Black book club if we could raise 100 comics bucks.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say no to that, but however you want to fundraise that, feel free.
The massive edition, which I think is the first 12, book 1, it's going for $50 on Amazon.
Okay, well, shit. If all three of us have to read it,
we can read it on like Global Comics and stuff like that. Probably at this point.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't like reading comics digitally. I need a physical copy.
I know you do.
I think the 100 stands.
That's unfair because then I would be the only one getting it. All right, yeah, the 100 stands. 100 comics bucks. We'll do your Radiant Black book club.
Should we put a goal together?
Is it done? No, it's not done. It's still ongoing, right?
It's still ongoing.
Yeah,
Issue 33 just came out.
33.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Super Drop saying, please do a Rogue Sun one. And said we reviewed the first issue of Rogue Sun, right?
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
It's in the archive somewhere.
Yeah. Mike Guzman says, you guys have become my favorite comic YouTube channel. I appreciate your dedication and efforts. Thank you. That really brightens my day to hear, Mike Guzman. You guys are so nice and generous with your comments, and that really means a lot to me. So thank you.
Oh wow, issue 37 just came out this past week.
Okay.
Wow. Hey, that's what's up.
It says 6-7. You guys know about 6-7?
No, what's that?
Never mind. That's fine.
All right.
All right.
Also, speaking of book clubs, though, we are in Justice League month, and that is the subject of this month's book club. JLI, Justice League International, won the poll, which means we now have 2 weeks from now, I guess, to read it. Actually, 3 weeks, because there's 3 Tuesdays before. There's 3 Tuesdays, so
yeah, it'll be the 30th.
The 30th, September 30th, is when the book club will be. We are going to do it at 8 p.m. We're going to switch the time up and do it at 8 p.m. See how you guys like that time slot. So Justice League International, 8 p.m. First 12 issues is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Pumped. I already have it downloaded.
Is there any other material we should read? Is there anything else that's like pivotal?
He posted about it in the Discord. I believe there's some like stuff leading up to it.
There's like an annual, I think, included in that.
Yeah, and some kind of something or other. I imagine I will like it, so this might be another one of those situations where I just keep reading by accident.
I hope I like it. People keep saying I'm not gonna like it.
We should all get bowl cuts for the episode.
Yo, get out of here.
No.
I
Trying
would.
to grow this hair.
Mm.
I was gonna say something awful, man.
Go ahead.
Nah.
What are we gonna get canceled?
Probably not. But I just don't want to offend anybody.
With the bowl cut community out there?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay,
they're
all
very
right.
easily
They are
triggered.
legion.
So, Justice League International, 12 issues, 8 p.m. on September 30th. Be there. Jay Sage says he feels like I won't like it. Why not? What's wrong with it?
Yeah, there's
What's wrong
Tom
with it?
account. Yeah, he says he could do Legends, but definitely annual #1.
All right, so we'll
Okay.
do the annual. We'll get the annual in there. MP, there's a name I haven't seen in a while. It says there's a cover with I guess a crossover with Suicide Squad 13. Is it a must read?
Yeah, in the Discord, Order of Dylan said someone shared one of the books, and it includes Justice League 1 through 6, Annual #1, 7 through 17, Suicide Squad 13, and then Annual #2.
Okay. Maybe we'll do that. I don't fucking know. At least the first 12.
We got time.
But
now.
anyway,
For sure.
let's get into we're doing our top 5 Justice League members without the Trinity. So Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are excluded. And we're in our number 4.
I'll go. My number 4, Cyborg. And this was when I started reading the Justice League stuff, Jeff Johns, the Aquaman pieces, and then all of New 52 I thought was just really cool to see this character who I've only ever known through the cartoons as being a Teen Titan, and it felt like a level up. It felt like, oh, that this character graduated into the big leagues, and now they're a key player, key component of what the Justice League is. And then there was even a cyborg series. I'm forgetting the writer. I'm trying to pull it up right now, but that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Was that not Jeffrey Thorne?
Was it?
It sounds familiar.
I'll pull it up, but
You rap. I'll find it.
yeah. But genuinely, I thought it was a really interesting insight into the character, and I really enjoyed it.
Nice. Still trying to find.
I'll go then while you
Yeah.
I'll vamp. My number, was it 4? Yeah, 4 is Kendra Saunders, aka Hawkgirl.
Nice.
I've read a lot of
I got
DC, but I've not read a lot of Justice League. When I got into comics, Justice League had Kong Gorilla on the team, and it was kind of shitty. Marco, big fan of that era.
Liked it.
Yeah, I bet you did. And so I jumped into it with like, even I was like hesitant with Jeff Johns' like New 52 stuff. It wasn't really my jam. But Scott Snyder's Justice League, I actually really did enjoy. That and Hawkgirl was kind of our POV character for that. She was the one a little out of her league, pun intended. And then seeing, where she wound up, her relationship with Martian Manhunter in that. And it's funny that she's on my list because I've never watched JLI or Justice League JLU. What's the cartoon?
Justice League Unlimited?
Yeah, never watched it. And I know she's a big deal in that.
Yeah, she is.
But I just really like the character a lot. I think the design is really great. It's really cool to see her in the Superman movies by Isabel Merced. So I just think she's awesome. So Hawkgirl, number 4.
And the series, the solo series, was by David F. Walker and artist Ivan Reis. That was in July of 2015. Guys, that was more than 10 years ago.
That's when Bendis was coming, right? That's when Bendis was on the Superman books at the time?
Not quite.
Yet.
No? Okay.
No, he was coming towards Rebirth, I think.
Mm-hmm. My number 4, and again, this has been a little tough, but my number 4 is Mr. Terrific.
Oh,
And
okay.
I typically wouldn't have him on my list, but over the last year, seeing him be a major player in DC's comics, seeing him in obviously the Superman film, I have really fallen for this character in a major way. I love the fact that he's so smart, so capable, so driven, has managed to use technology not just to make his life like as easy as possible, but also to solve the world's problems that other people just can't solve. Strange Adventures showing how he is always thinking of solutions and always answering questions and always quizzing himself to make sure that he is at tip top mental sharpness was so cool to me. And he feels like there are a lot of comic book characters who will be on teams that just feel like redundant or like, why are you here? Whatever. Mr. Terrific feels additive to the Justice League right now in Mark Waid's book and other books where he appears. So I love the role he's playing right now in the league. I hope this is something they continue with because Mr. Terrific feels like the kind of character who could break out. So
They've been giving him the push. The year one series has been a lot of fun.
It's actually a really good book. I am enjoying that book.
Yeah.
hey, happy early birthday to Dan Trudeau, one of our most loyal and staunchest supporters. Thank you, Dan, for being a part of our space and for genuinely being someone who feels like an ally to what we do. There are a lot of people that listen to this show. Not everybody feels like they're a part of the DNA of this show in the way that Dan does. And so thank you, Dan, for always being honest, true, faithful, and supportive. You're a good friend and a good man. I hope you enjoy your day, my friend.
Seconded.
Comics are dope. I've seen you all day in the chat, man. And I know you're trying to get me to bite. I don't know what you said earlier about percentages. I don't know what I got wrong about percentages, but there is a 100% chance that Comics Are Dope will be on this show in 2 weeks' time.
100%.
Because if he's not on this show in 2 weeks' time, then we are done professionally.
Over.
I don't. Is there 100% for anything when you have a newborn?
No. There's a 100% chance you're not getting any sleep at night.
Yeah, there you go.
Yikes.
Yeah. So share your top 5 JSA members with us if you would like. MP says Martian Manhunter, Oracle, Ted Cord, Zariel, Elongated Man, and Plastic Man.
Wow.
The guy likes a rubbery man.
That's it. Go ahead.
Hayden's Hideout with his 5. The Question, Hawk Girl, John Stewart, Black Canary, and Green Arrow. A lot of them being part of JLU, the animated series.
Yeah, for sure.
The Question's integral to that?
Not integral necessarily, but I definitely think was in it.
Okay.
Atomic Hound with the $9.99. I didn't vote for JLI, but if I had to have one comic on a deserted island to read over and over again, it would be Justice League 1 from 1987. For book club extra credit, consider Legends number 6 by Len Wein and John Byrne.
Ooh, Len Wein got my attention.
All right. John Byrne, I don't think I've read any Legends stuff, so I might give that a shot.
I think with John Byrne, too, is like, you can't deny the art. The guy, questionable. The art.
Interesting. I'll probably read it. I don't know that we all need to, but I'll probably check that out.
Yeah, we got the DC Infinite app. It'll be on there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Even though it's digital, it's accessible.
Yeah. Hey, you know what you guys made possible for us, by the way? You guys made it possible through your support for us to be able to take some comics bucks and get ourselves DC Infinite and Marvel Unlimited, so that we don't have to pay to buy the books that we read for these book clubs, and so that we don't have to have individual subscriptions. Now we're just sharing it as a mutual comics pals.
No, I believe we all have individual subscriptions because I read those terms and conditions.
That's right. Everybody here has their own individual subscription.
That's true.
We all have our own email accounts.
Right.
And their own subscriptions.
That's right.
That is true. Negate and ignore what I just said.
It's fine.
You were right.
Honest mistake.
Yeah.
I fucked up.
You know, with all the downer of discussion at the beginning of the show, it's fine if you were a little kerfuffled.
Yeah. I'm known for being rattled. So, again, we've got over 150 people here with us. Subscribe if you're not. Like the video if you're enjoying what we're doing. let's get into the news. There's a fair bit of news to talk about. And we'll stay in the realm of Batman because, believe it or not, Batman Hush 2 has been delayed even more.
Oh no! What am I gonna do? Oh no!
I was trying to mentally prepare my shocked face. I had to like really get into character for a second. Sorry.
I can't remember the last time a book has had this kind of like delay factor to it, but it makes me think about, Astonishing X-Men and how crazy delayed that last issue was. Makes me think about, well, Ultimatum and how delayed that was. Was it Ultimatum or was it? No, it was Ultimates 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Ultimate
And then there was that
insanely delayed.
Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk, right? Wasn't that a thing?
It was it was that one that was insanely delayed. Ultimate Secret, the one that reveals Jimmy Hudson, that was extremely delayed. And a fair few of those are Jeff Loeb books. So I'm wondering if the delay here is actually not Jim Lee related.
Interesting. Oh, huh. The common denominator.
It's true.
Now, issue 163 of Hush 2 is 5 months delayed.
Oof. Oof. Tyler.
I can only laugh at it at this point.
Dude, and you know what?
I'm not going to know what happened in the previous issue when the time I get to this issue.
Does it matter?
No.
Because honestly, fine. It's not one of those things where like, Doomsday Clock. I'm like, I'm bummed that the next issue's out, not out yet because I really want to read it. It's one of those issues where it's delayed. All right. Well, you know what? New Fraction book's good. Dark Patterns is fire.
I've never seen a book become Elseworlds in real time.
That's crazy.
So 162 is supposed to come out in November. That's been pushed way off its original solicitation date. Now 163 is delayed until January 28th, 2026, which is 5 months past its original date. The whole of Hush Part 1 is a year delayed. And allegedly, if 163 comes out when it's supposed to, Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez's Batman run will have released 6 issues of its own volume before Hush 2 could release the 6 issues of its volume. By the way, there are 2 concurrent volumes of Batman running right now. I cannot remember, and maybe chat can correct me, I cannot remember a single time in history where that has occurred.
Nope, I can't.
I don't think that ever has happened.
No. What does this do for legacy numbering?
I just had that same thought. Like, we're in Legacy 1 whatever past this stuff. They're going to retroactively print legacy numbers. They have to.
Or if it never comes out. So is Batman #1 by Fraction the legacy numbering? Does it start where Hush 2 would have ended?
I think that makes the most sense.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a possibility if this never comes out, we have legacy numbering breakage.
True.
Where there might be a blank spot. Right now, there is a blank spot. We have our Jed McKay missing moment right now.
I don't see a world where Hush doesn't finish, in the sense that these 6 issues will conclude. Sure. I do not believe that Hush 3 will ever happen, because I know they talked about doing a Hush 3. That's not happening.
Hush 3?
Hush 3, yes. And the second part of this, I would say, is in jeopardy.
Don't even do it. Just don't even do it. Give us these 6 issues, wrap it up, and let's get on with our lives.
Tom McCann with a $4.99 says the retcon for Hush 2 will be out before the original is finished.
That's funny.
It sounds like it already got canceled.
That's funny. This is horseshit.
Yeah.
This is horseshit. And I was one of the people who celebrated this book's announcement because of the good that I thought it could do for Batman, for DC, that they would have these 2 legendary creators returning to the book. To say that it has backfired beyond the sales of the first issue would be an understatement, because this kind of delay doesn't help anybody. All it has really done is put DC in a bit of an awkward situation. And it'd be great if the only thing we were talking about was Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez's current run, which is only got one issue, but it was really good. Whereas everything being said about Hush 2 is pretty much negative, chief among them being that it is in delay hell.
Yep. And it would have been so much better because we're 3 issues in, right? If we had given Chip his time, not rush him out, and then lead into this. Because at this rate, I would have preferred you not even have the issues come out, give Batman 3 months, and then run right back into this stuff.
From what I remember, it wasn't that Chip was rushed out. It was Chip had to extend and like pad things out. So it was the opposite. Yes. But either way, it kind of hobbled Chip's finale in a way. Because remember, there was like an issue where it's like, oh, that felt like the finale issue. And then there was a whole other arc after it.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. And they needed time. Think about the timeline of this. When we were told that Hush 2 was supposed to start a long time ago, and Jim Lee had a year to work on it, and we're still living in a space where we're dealing with these massive delays. I have to imagine that the time frame for Hush 2, when it actually came out, the first issue, they probably wanted something in between Chip's end and the beginning of a new run with Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a perfect thing to slot in there. This Hush 2 thing we've wanted to do for years. But there's just no way that these two can get it done. It's just not going to happen. It's clear now. So don't do this again. Fuck it. Whoever's responsible, whichever one of those two is responsible for this, just stop. Whether if it's Loeb, stop fucking writing.
He just put out a new X-Men issue.
I know. But the thing is, like, we don't know when these books are being actually worked on.
Yeah.
I've seen people say that the last Halloween was written by Jeff Loeb many years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know the validity of that. But whoever's responsible, stop it. Fucking Jim Lee is drawing he's drawing Superman art for the movie.
With Lex, yeah.
He's doing signings at every store in America.
He did a Fortnite skin.
He's doing Fortnite skins. Can you do Batman?
Please.
Hush.
Get back.
Somebody please do Batman.
There was that Red Hood cover too. Yeah, Super Chop says, but Sean, Jim Lee had to draw that Red Hood cover.
And look at the good it's doing everybody now, Super
Collector's
Chop.
item. Collector's item.
I need that actually.
The one with the person with a bloodied cover? Like, timing. Come on, Jim Lee.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
Entertain me with the 2-spot. Hush 2 should be removed from continuity. Well, how do you do that? The Red Hood book just followed up on. Oh, that was canceled.
Yeah, okay, you're good then. You're cleared.
Yeah.
You don't even need Dr. Manhattan for this one.
See, it was going to get canceled anyways.
Izzy's issues with the 2-spot. For the Radiant Black goal, first big arc ends at 30. Dude,
30.
Put 100. I don't even care. I'll do it myself if I have to. I'll read the 30. I don't care.
I'm halfway there.
Let's get it going. That's $2 towards the cause.
Nice. Should I put a goal? Let me put a goal.
In the chat?
It won't work with YouTube.
It won't. Yeah, it won't work.
It's only per episode. Yeah. It's gonna have to be a mental one.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is crazy. The Batman Hush 2 is a disaster. Sadly.
Thank God Fraction's run is good though, or thank God Fraction's first issue was good. Yeah. Patrick Zay says, "Should I even bother reading the first Hush at this point?" Yeah. I think the first Hush, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way. That's like a great baby's first Batman. In the sense that like it's super straightforward. You see pretty much everyone. And it's drawn by a very palatable and great artist with Jim Lee. It's pretty no frills. It's good.
I enjoy the original Hush. It's not the best Batman story ever told, but it's a lot of fun, and I think that it's worth giving a shot.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, agreed. Just keep these separate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're already separated in my mind. Hush 2 is barely occupying any kind of continuity space in my brain. I couldn't tell. You remember that big buff guy that shows up who has like some voice powers? What's his name?
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great point. I don't know anything about that book anymore. I've wiped it out of my mind.
You know what stuck with me? Sick'em Bane. That's the only thing that stuck with me.
That's right.
Is Damien teaming up with a guy who killed his father figure in front of him? Ay.
Not the best decision, but this is a very funny comment. Amin Perez, I moved the pencil 2 inches to the left. Lee is now delaying Hush 2 5 months. Oh, holy shit. Samuel Summers dropped the $100 super chat bomb on us. And it's not $99.99, which means we get the most of that we are going to be able to get. And he says, get ready to learn Radiant Black. Samuel Summers, you are the man. You are the fucking man. And that book club is coming. We are of our word. Thank you, brother.
Not using that NBA meme too. Get ready to learn Chinese, brother. Like, all right.
Thank you.
We're reading it.
Thank you.
What if it's not good?
Damn, dude.
I got the money.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't good, it ain't good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Holy shit. Radiant Black October.
Wow. And Chad is going berserk over it.
Holy
I was
shit.
going to ask you guys. I don't even necessarily feel like it needs to replace another.
No,
like,
this is for
This
shits
is-
and gigs.
Happily.
Yeah, no, we're not doing Radiant Black Month. I'm sorry. They're not getting a whole month out of it.
Patrick
But-
is saying, bro is executive producer for the Pals.
Honestly, I'll put you in the
Hey.
credits.
Hey, word. Listen, Samuel, that is amazing. Dude.
And
Thank
Samuel,
you.
do you like Radiant Black?
Maybe just a little bit.
Seems like a fan.
Maybe just a little bit. Cole, this is good info. Cole says Radiant Black Volume 1 is on sale on Kindle Comixology for $1.99. I just bought it.
Cool.
Well, shit.
In Stock Trades has it. Apparently, the Master Collection's like $28. Somebody said that in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
When you get the book, who knows? So that's a bit risky.
That's fair.
But that is a cost-effective way of doing that.
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle.
That's the big. Thank you, Samuel Summers. You mean?
No, Kyle, for that last note on IST.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But thank you, Samuel Summers, for
Yeah, thank
for
you
the
so
nuke.
much. Yeah.
Yes. Is that the biggest super chat? I think Atomic Hound matched that. Once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's gonna break that?
You people are.
Who's gonna do
fucking
more
nuts.
than that?
Not a Red Hood fan, that's for sure.
Disgruntled Dev said, "Bro, just gave out my monthly salary for your monthly salary is $100.
You don't know where he's from.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, now I feel bad.
You never know.
You know who else I feel bad for? Greg Rucka. Greg Rucka.
Segue.
Thank you. Greg Rucka was on the Word Balloon podcast just this week, and he had a lot of things to say. Before we get into the controversy of what he said, he was there to promote. Really, he was there to talk shop with his buddy John Suntress of Word Balloon, but he was there to promote Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League, which is out now. The first 2 issues have released. He's doing that with Nicola Scott. And it was a tremendous conversation. One of my favorite interviews that I've heard in a while. I love I love Greg Rucka. Greg Rucka's a genius and a brilliant writer and a very honest person. He did Lazarus, which I adore. Lazarus is one of the greatest comics ever made. And he's a very thoughtful person. And if you read the back matter of Lazarus, you know that. But on this episode of the Word Balloon podcast, he was very honest about his time at DC Comics in the previous era and why now was a good time to come back to DC after having sworn the company off years ago. Quote, he was speaking about the War of the Supermen comic book event.
Yeah.
And Greg Rucka was a part of that. And Rucka said, quote, "That was me at my absolute lowest at DC. That was in the deep end when everybody was lying to me, using me, betraying me, abusing me. My relationship with James Robinson was a bad one. He was writing whatever he wanted. We were not collaborating well. Collaborating with Sterling was great. Sterling Gates was great. Literally was the best thing about that period. But it was just a repeated kick between the legs." He goes on to say, because he didn't hold his tongue, he made some comments about someone who is very near and dear to us. He said, quote, "It was toxic when I was there and remained toxic until Dan Didio left. It was an abusive, manipulative environment. Jeff Johns was an incredibly manipulative person to me, used me, lied to me, played me off against people. Didio did the same thing. I was made promises repeatedly, and they were always broken. When I left in 2009, I was mentally ill. I was severely depressed. I was suicidal. I nearly took my life. And that's all the direct result of the way I was treated from 2006 to 2009. It was done with malice. The people I'm speaking about are bad actors. I'm not in a place where I will ever defend them again. They did what they did with malice and forethought."
Damn.
It's heavy.
Damn. Some of those names too.
It's heavy.
At minimum, it sounds clicky. You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, it's not a secret. Jeff Johns and James Robinson are good friends. So, at minimum, it's that. It's like, all right, well, these guys are going to stick together. And maybe if you're not part of that, you kind of get left off, left to the side. It's rough. Yeah. It's not a good look. Because Greg Rucka doesn't gain anything or from this. It's just being honest. And credit to John Shuntress, too, who I generally love word balloon podcast episodes. I disagree with John Shuntress in a couple of things, but yeah, that's troubling. It's troubling for sure.
It was hard to hear him say these things because you want to believe that the creators who you love are having a good experience working on the books that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And that clearly isn't the case for Greg. Greg has written some of my favorite DC books. You're talking about Batwoman, you're talking about Wonder Woman, and others. And so to know that in these periods where he's doing some of my favorite work, he's suffering the most is hard. And at the hands of Dan Didio and Jeff Johns in particular, two people who I have a lot of respect for and admiration for, it's very hard to hear. Particularly with Jeff, because Jeff Johns is a personal, I don't want to say personal friend, but a friend of the show at the least. He's done the show, several times, been very cool and kind to us in all of our interactions. So I personally, as a human being, don't have anything bad to say about Jeff Johns. And we're talking about a time that is nearly 20 years ago. And we're talking about a time that Jeff and Dan and Greg, for that matter, may have been different people. I wasn't there, but I don't say anything I just said to imply that I don't believe Greg or that I think anything that was done to Greg is excusable. That's not what I'm saying. I don't excuse anything. And if Jeff Johns did what Greg says he did with malice the way he says he did it, then that's fucked up.
Yeah, not to discredit Greg in at any capacity. Yeah. If anything, it's just a shame to hear that.
Right.
Well, perception's reality too. Like if this is how Greg Rucka was perceiving the treatment, then that's his reality. And that reality caused him to be so depressed he almost killed himself. That alone is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, this is also the era, I mentioned, Scott Lobdell earlier. We're talking about the Red Hood stuff, but this is when he was writing comics at DC. This is around the time Eddie Berganza was still there, right? So we do know the culture was not good. BJ in the chat made a good point that, Mark Waid directly contributes his resurgence to the change of guard at DC. So Mark Waid was pretty much excommunicado from DC Comics during this time. And it's not until that the higher ups change, new EIC with Murray Javins, that he comes back. And now look where DC is right now. This Marvel podcast is almost turned into a DC podcast.
And I think that's a good point that, if it's coming from the top, right, there's a situation where you kind of, you then have to adapt to that environment. however shitty it might be. Not to say that you have to get used to it, but I'm sure that in order to find a level of success, you have to kind of play in the mud. That makes sense?
If there's a toxicity from the top level that infects the rest of the culture,
Right. Right.
and you either buck up and deal with it, not saying you should have to, but sometimes that's just the way you got to get paid. You got to pay your bills, or it affects you in negative
Yeah.
ways.
Greg didn't stop there. He did elaborate, and he talked about how he did return to DC for DC Rebirth in 2016 and again in 2019. And he said the following: when they came to me in 2016, they were on their knees saying, "We have a Wonder Woman movie coming out, and we forked the character into a cocked hat," which is a strange phrase. He was trying to circumvent cursing because John from Word, a lot of YouTube channels are worried about what cursing will do to their channel. YouTube doesn't give a fuck.
Hey, whoa, easy.
Whoa, the AI is gonna get you.
Trying to monetize here.
Right. And so he was just trying to get around using bad language, but he said, "We need to get it fixed. We want you to do it. What will it take?" I gave them a list of demands, made them put it in writing, which is how you got me back in 2016. At the end of that first year, they said, "Well, we're going to do it again. We want you to keep going." And I said, "This isn't sustainable." And I told you I could only do it for a year. So that's when I walked away. In 2019, I came back because Bendis and Fraction were coming in, and there was an intention we would work together. When I came in at that point, I was told, "We don't need to make guarantees because we've proven we'll do what we said." Like an idiot, I said, "Okay," and they proceeded to fork me. So when that ended, I walked away. They came back a couple of times, but I stayed away. And as to why he's back, just to briefly wrap it up, he said, "I'm going to be perfectly honest, it's a different company right now. The people there, it's healthy." Rob, who is an editor, said, "It's different now. Editorial gets along and we communicate." And I said, "All right, I'll believe it when I see that, but I'm happy to talk." And then I got to see it, and Rob is absolutely correct. There are 3 group editors that I'm in communication with, and they talk to each other so much, it's almost a problem. It creates an environment where that's putting out some of the best DC stuff, some of the best stuff DC's done in the last 10 to 15 years. It's a positive environment. People are working together, and they're not working in fear. They're collaborating. I've never written anything that couldn't benefit from another set of eyes. I want to be able to talk to an editor and be able to say, "This is what I'm thinking. I'm not sure if this works," and have them say, "Okay, I don't think it does work, but have you thought about this?" I'm working with 3 separate editors at DC. All of them have been terrific. The last time I was able to work with editors who were that good was in 2016 when I was able to pick the editors I worked with. And before that, I go back to Denny O'Neil's Bat Group. And that's not to say editors I worked with, for instance, on Gotham Central, were bad people or bad editors. They were great at their jobs, but the environment was growing more and more toxic crazy.
Wow, I mean, that's really refreshing to hear, especially to lay out the kind of the timelines that over time not that it didn't get worse, but that now people in these positions are there to make direct change to the way that people are treated, the way that the work environment is. Ideally, that's reflected in the pay, but I think the biggest thing is also the support. It's a collaborative industry. It's a collaborative process. And so if you need to get your editor on the phone because you have some trouble with something, I love that he said that the editors talk so much is a problem. That just means that there's a level of transparency happening, and I bet you that comes from the top.
It's also DC where a book called Cheetah in Cheshire gets to be published.
Yeah.
Like they're also less risk averse because the whole of the line is doing well.
Yeah, and I also think that they have recognized that taking chances can actually yield results. Whether this book is successful or not, having Greg Rucka on tap is great, because maybe this isn't the book that Greg does that's going to be huge for them, but it could be the next one. Yeah. He talked on this interview about, he was asked if he would be willing to return to Batwoman, and he said absolutely.
Oh,
so can you fucking imagine? Can you imagine that?
That probably explains why he was off after New 52, where it was just Hayden Blackwell on with J.H. Williams.
Yeah,
Rucka was notoriously absent from that. Wow. I mean, Batwoman Elegy is one of my favorite books of all time. So, yeah, that could be great. And like, also, Lazarus is ending. He's going to have some free time soon. I mean, Lazarus might also be complete at this point. So that is definitely someone you want in your comic bullpen for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bummer for me to hear, and I'm sure for all of us. But you know what? I'm glad he's happier, and I'm glad things at DC are better. So
And I'm glad we have that peek behind the curtain there. I think Javins is running a tight ship, and a friendly ship at that.
I agree with disgruntled Dev. With what Matt said he's planning in the Bat group, I hope he writes Batwoman. I would love to see Greg get back in the Batwoman seat. Wow, Shu Patel, Greg Rucka, and Hayden Sherman on Batwoman easy. Yes,
Whoa.
yes.
Nah,
Bring it on.
get J.H. Williams back.
I mean, yes. I mean, yeah, 100%. But if that's not possible,
Sure. Oh man,
I said it on Pals Pulls this Thursday with Marco. I said the only artist whose panel layouts are
that's right.
similar to Hayden Sherman in terms of their complexity is J.H. Williams, the
Yep.
third.
Complexity, sure. Yeah.
Man, listen.
Did J.H. Williams the fourth come out yet?
He might have dropped. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forget those release schedules.
I'm not sure, sadly. And let her get fucking married. By the way, DC. Batwoman isn't Batman.
True.
Batwoman isn't Batman. Batwoman isn't Flash. You can do things with second tier, third tier characters that you can't do with main characters. Let that woman marry.
It's a great point.
I mean, we have a gay marriage breakup in Absolute. So
yeah. What? Lesbians don't fucking go through the rigors of marriage and the trials of tribulations. It's not only hetero people that get married and have relationships that struggle. You can tell those stories with a character like Batwoman. Let's get into it.
yeah, sometimes that U-Haul breaks down.
What?
I don't
Okay,
get
that wasn't for you.
No.
Okay.
Well, speaking of things breaking up and ending, it is the end of an era. 37 years gone by, and previews is coming to a close. There will be no more previews.
Damn.
Because of everything that's going on with Diamond, the Diamond previews comic catalog is no more. This is very, very unfortunate. I thought that maybe Ad Populum / Sparkle Pop would keep it going, but they haven't. Alan Gibson had the following to say. He's the main writer for previews. He said, quote, Diamond has been a part of my life since 1991. I saw my work on previews as a great responsibility. It is the tool of the comics industry, and I always try to do right by the publishers, the readers, the industry as a whole. All I can do is do the best job I can do today, and I will deal with tomorrow when it comes. If we go down, at least I will know I did everything that I could. And then, unfortunately, Marty Grosser, who is the founder and editor and manager of Previews, said, Previews is dead. R.I.P. It was the best 37 years of my life. I met some lifelong friends and worked alongside some of the best of the best. Issue 445 will be the last issue, all 98 pages of it. I guess I have some career decisions to make and new opportunities to ponder.
Wow, dude. Key issue of previews announced.
Yeah, I don't think there's a slab big enough for that, Marco.
Yeah, that's crazy that these guys have been there for longer than I've been alive. Holy shit. That's to tell how much of a staple this thing has been, both Diamond as well as previews in the community.
Okay, so what happens? I mean, a lot of trees get to survive because of this. But does somebody try and fill in the void? Do a League of Comic Geeks start putting out a I don't know, physical print edition of something?
I don't think so. To be honest, I still have
Antiquated.
doubts. I still have doubts that Ad Populum and Sparkle Pop even want to keep Diamond publishing.
This is bad. Previews is a very important element of what we do. And granted, 37 years is a long time in the relatively young comic book industry, but there was a time before, and obviously there will be a time after previews. So fair game. But when you consider the way the industry works, previews is a vital element of retailers and fans knowing what is coming. We make our decisions about buying and stuff based on what we know from this. And really there aren't many, if any, other avenues for us to learn about what's coming well in advance. You know, we do get solicitations and things like that, but that just releases digitally. Previews compiles all of that.
Yeah.
Right. There's no aggregator.
And it has the codes too, which is important for pre-ordering.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, the codes just as it relates to the association with Diamond, no?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Because if Lunar and Random House have their own separate lists and they do solicit separately,
sure.
You can download the Excel, but like, you know, it's annoying.
I do not want to be a comic retailer. All this fucking shit they have to juggle.
It's a mess, and it just creates even more destabilization for an industry that really can't stand that.
Yeah.
But we knew there would be shakeups. My biggest hope with this is that there is that something else will rise out of the ashes of this. Like Tyler mentioned, League of Comic Geeks, whether it's them, whoever, I don't know who. I hope someone steps in and does something like this again. Do I think it will happen? No.
Do you think the major big two publishers, or even maybe like Image Skybound, puts out their own? It then becomes segmented. Like Marvel has like a solicitations book that comes out, or DC, like DC Connect. I think it was last Young Renegade made a comment there, which I think is digital. But do they put out a print version that then has ads in it or whatever?
I can see that. That's a good idea, but I don't know that it's worth it to advertise to the. I guess I don't think it's worth it for people who are already ingrained in it to not just wait for what's coming out on a weekly basis as dictated by the distributors than the publishers, because the publishers will have their solicits. They do it week by week, but I think it's an easier step to have the distributors consolidate that, keep track of that, because they're the ones shipping it ultimately.
It should be it should be all in one house. It really, in my opinion, it really should be. I think it should be centralized, but we are getting to a space where there's a lot of decentralization in comics in general, and so this is just an acceleration of that process. A lot of which is due to the fact that Diamond is no more.
Yeah.
Right. And so this was always going to happen. There was always going to be destabilization and decentralization. I don't love it. I don't like it at all, but I don't see a way around it.
Yeah. Okay. And that, I feel like that's my biggest thing, is there is no way to have a single place to find what's coming out anymore. Like, I think League of Comic Geeks is probably the best resource to just tie what's upcoming, but the frustrating part is, you know, the week by week nature of how it's laid out. You can't see far in ahead.
Physically, it's tough for sure, because everyone's here. Because I don't buy physical comics, so people are correcting me in the chat, which thank you. Marvel, DC, and IDW all print catalogs. DC Connect is also print, so there are segmented versions of all that. But it is hard to find it all in one spot. But if you're online, you can get that all on Pals Previews every Monday at 1 p.m. to figure out what's coming out that week.
Nice.
That is a good point. We do keep you guys up to date every single Monday on what is happening in the week of comics. And that's what it's becoming, right? It's spaces like these. It's spaces like Near Mint Condition. It's spaces like Comics Are Dope, you know, to learn about what's happening, not just that week, but that month, previews, solicitations, and all that. It's getting to the point where you need to pick your favorite couple of YouTubers and go buy them, or grab a copy of DC Connect or whatever. I just, you know, when you think about the space that previews occupied and the relevance of it, it just sucks to see an institution like that go away. And of course, we have to acknowledge the fact that this is leading to the to the firing of quite a few people.
Yep.
People are losing their jobs out of this.
They would have actual, like in previous, correct me if I'm wrong, but they have interviews and stuff in there too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
conversations,
yeah.
articles.
So there's some journalism that is being lost now, for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I read it for the articles, not for the
Oh,
pictures.
yeah. I read it for this cover that I have up here.
Dude, I learned to fear nuclear anything from Playboy magazine.
Nuclear anything, like a nuclear fallout.
Yeah, because of Indian Point,
Oh,
the nuclear plant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had a whole article about it in Playboy magazine.
Sean having an accidental thread of the oncoming mutual assured destruction of the U.S. while fully bricked.
Do you want to know how fucking weird I am, dude? I was
Sure.
I should save this, but I was oh my god.
Go for it.
I was watching Power Rangers.
Okay.
Dino Thunder, I think it was. And simultaneously reading a Playboy article about Indian Point.
And this is a formative experience for you.
I'll never forget it. And I called a friend of mine and I was like, dude, and meanwhile, I'm like 14. He's like 20. And I'm like, dude, do you know about Indian Point? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I was reading Playboy. He's like, you were reading Playboy? What the fuck are you doing reading Playboy? Mind you, my friends had to buy it for me.
And the conversation became about why are you reading Playboy than Indian Point? You're like, no, wait, I got to tell you about this thing. He's like, no, bro, hold on. We got to take a step back. We got to talk about this.
I was depressed. He's trying to talk to me about why I'm doing. I'm like, dude, focus on what's happening. We could die at any moment.
I know why you're reading this issue. I just looked it up.
I know. Yep. You are a beast, Tyler.
This is the WWE Wrestling Goddess Tori Wilson issue in
I cannot believe you found that, dude.
May 2003.
So I was 13.
Yeah,
I was 13.
Oh, prime Tori Wilson age.
Yeah.
It was called the China Syndrome 2003, the most dangerous nuclear plant in America. Other articles were Billy Bob Thornton's interview.
That's right. I still have it, by the way.
Batter Up, In the Dugouts, Playboy's Fearless Baseball Preview.
Yeah. That's me.
I have the actual pages from that article too, Sean.
Oh my god, dude.
You can view the article pages if you log into Playboy.
I might need to run that back.
There's some real journalism in Playboy. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, good stuff. Good comics.
You know what I just realized? We haven't spun the wheel one time.
I know. I was going to mention that. I was waiting for the... We should probably get a couple spins in.
Yeah.
Way to deflect from your China syndrome, Sean.
Yeah. The less we say, the better about that.
You want to get a spin in? Let's get a... I'm spinning it. What do we got? You guys thirsty? Too bad. Highlight a book.
Ooh, all right. So we'll get a poll up with all three of us, and one of us will have to highlight a book that we recently read and enjoyed. I've been reading a lot of comics on the sidelines, so I have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, what did I read this week? Okay, I got something. I got one. Want to spin another one while we let's get one on the dock?
Sure.
Up on deck. Maybe that doesn't need a poll. We can lie to Marco.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so we'll lie to Marco while the poll
fills out.
It's one of my favorite things to do. So,
as you said, we were an honest podcast earlier in the show.
That was a lie.
Honestly, they like to lie to me.
Yeah.
So 9/11 just passed.
No, we're getting to loose change.
No, we're not. I have watched that though many times. So Marvel is the world outside our window. And obviously they had to deal with this subject. So there is a 9/11 special issue of Marvel Comics in which Dr. Doom cries about 9/11, which is crazy, but it is what happened. And they also have an issue where Wolverine goes on a mission to try to uncover who caused 9/11. It was a very good series, a very short series. I think it was 5 issues, but it was really good. I couldn't believe that Dr. Doom shed a tear, though. So, Marco, what's the lie?
Marco's going to say 9/11 didn't happen.
Imagine. 9/11's the lie.
Yeah.
So it's between either Doctor Doom didn't cry, or that this book even came out.
It's between the Wolverine being sent on a mission, or going on his own mission, and
Right.
Doctor Doom crying about 9/11.
Doctor Doom's from Latveria, dude. He wouldn't shed a tear. That's the lie.
Damn, fake fan.
He actually did.
Oh,
I made up the Wolverine thing. That was
Oh.
that was actually Get Mystique, which was after he. It wasn't Get Mystique. It was after Civil War. He went to go try to find the guy who blew up. But anyway, yeah, that was Doctor Doom really did cry after 9/11.
That was JR too from what I remember, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
True patriot. Yes, Hayden's Hideout. Doctor Doom was a true patriot.
That's true.
he believes in the mission and the dream.
One tier under Doom. Oh my god. Oh my
All right,
god.
let's close that poll. What do we got?
Yeah. They want Marco.
Well, typical.
All right. Let me pull it up on my where is it? I was reading some Kindle books.
Marco's gonna talk about Red Hood #1.
Imagine. At least one of us would be able to talk about the damn book.
No. I started reading Palestine by Joe Sacco.
Is that a comic?
It's a comic. It's a he's a cartoonist, and the book encompasses like a few months that he spends time in Palestine, in Gaza, and kind of the situation around not only the people's displacement, but also how the Israelis feel, and also about how Christians in the region feel. Very much a politically charged book, in that the things that they're discussing affect people's lives and how that dictates the policy by which they live and are kind of, for lack of a better word, corralled. I've been struggling through it. Joe Sacco's art is not my favorite. I see the construction, I see the artistry of it, but it's not landing for me.
Oh yeah, I can see. Yeah, it's almost Crumb-like.
Yes, very much so. Very, very.
I like how you're struggling through this Palestine book. And what is it? The content? No, it's the art.
It's the art, dude. But I don't know if people can see this. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it is very. I dig it.
R. Crumb. I dig it. Insofar that it's a interesting style, but the way that Joe kind of puts his own thoughts on top of the situations that are happening is a bit jarring, and it makes the book really wordy. So I'm kind of struggling through that right now. I'm early on still. I read sort of the introduction to it, but that's currently what I'm in the middle of reading. I was reading that on the plane from Nashville.
That the word balloon seems to have a lot of long tails.
Dude, oh my god. And
Yeah.
it rings around, and then there's like a lot of, because it is cartooning and caricature to some degree, there's a lot of like, this is a political figure, you kind of have to know who this is.
Sure,
and I
sure,
don't
sure.
and I don't know what that means. And so he's not holding your hand, nor does he really care to.
Sure.
And it's all about his opinion, which I'm also having a little bit of issue about, because he's like this white dude from Connecticut or something, kind of going in and being like, well, this is how I feel about the thing. Like, all right.
Gotcha.
By the way, we crossed already 200 patrons.
Holy shit.
There we go.
So we owe a giveaway. We'll figure that out and get that info to you guys a little later on. It'll be Patreon exclusive. So join us over there if you want to take part in the giveaway. We owe a lot more wheel spins because you guys have been amazing today. So let's get through that.
Do you know your pals? We have a couple of these, right?
Oh, we got a thread going. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna tell you something, and you have to tell us who this is true about. And so what we're gonna tell you is, I've gotten my face bitten by a dog. You guys have to guess which pal this is true of. And after that, the pal who it's true of will tell you the story behind it.
Let me get a
So,
pull up.
Cool.
So you're saying the fact is, can you reiterate
The fact is, I've been bitten by a dog. Well, one of us has been bitten by a dog.
in the face, you said.
Yeah.
In
And
the face.
chat has to determine who that is.
Okay. We'll let that poll run, and I guess I'll spin a wheel again.
Yeah. And while you do spin that wheel, I just wanted to confirm. So this book was published back in 2001 by Fantagraphics. Somebody in the chat asked, I think Cosmic November, and it's detailing Joe's life in the West Bank and Gaza Strip from December to 91 to January 91. So only 2 months, really. So like, I also have issue with that because like, what can you take out of that? You know?
Last Young Renegade reminds me I need to get my payment options in order so I can join. Give me a sec. Hey, thank you so much. Anybody who even considers joining our Patreon, I really appreciate.
Oh, it fell. We got another lie to Marco.
You want to lie to Marco?
All the time.
Go for it.
Marco, one of my favorite movies, and I love a bad movie, is technically the first Marvel movie to come out. And that's Howard the Duck. Executive produced by George Lucas, I believe. He was on Nose Candy back then. But one of the reasons why I like the movie, it's kind of billed as a children's movie. But there's two things in it that really jump out to me. Frontal nudity and bloody murder in this movie about a duck who comes to Earth. I was lying about one of those things. Which is in the movie and what's not?
You were lying about the bloody murder. I, for a fact, know that there is full frontal nudity of one duck in that film. I've seen it.
I'm glad you got that right. There's some sweet, sweet duck titties in that movie.
Stop that you describe it that way.
It's in Duck World. She's just drinking a martini in the bath, and they have a puppet with duck titties. That's
No wonder you love that movie so much.
It's a great movie. You kidding me? There's even
It's wild.
There's one bit where Leia Thompson looks in Howard's wallet and she pulls out this little tiny duck condom. I'm like, who the fuck is this movie for?
Kids.
Apparently, the people who are like kids during that watch that movie.
Yeah.
Fun movie though.
Crazy.
Howard the Duck got a movie before Spider-Man, by the way.
Yep.
Deserves another.
The graphics, the CGI was easier to do.
Which pal got bitten in the face by a dog? 54% of you think it is Sean. 30% say Tyler, 15% say Marco.
You hiding a scar under that beard, Sean?
Yeah, Sean, is that true?
That's why I always have a beard. Yeah, I actually have a massive scar right here. No, it's not me.
It was me. Don't. This is the only advice I'd give you guys. Don't have a close-up staring contest with a menstruating dog. Get your dog spayed. They can become moody and temperamental.
Oh, it was aggressive, huh?
Just full on filleted my lip. I have a scar right here.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Yikes!
Little Cairn Terrier. I felt bad because we had to go to like the vet. I didn't have to go to the vet. I had to go to the ER for them to they glued it, I think. But then they give your dog a strike. They're like, hey, we're marking that dog as having bit a human. It's one strike. It's like 2 strikes. It's like, then we got to call someone to put that dog down.
What?
Yeah. So I was not ratting on my dog any time after that.
That's crazy, man.
Oh, Dan.
How old were you?
I was like 13 or something like that. Dan says, I was going to do that this afternoon. Tyler, your advice may have saved my life. You're welcome. Glad I can help.
Chillmonger. I'd never pet a dog again.
Good. Dogs are dogs are so easy. They're so vibe based. Just put out the right vibes.
And that's why you have cats, right, Tyler?
I'm also allergic to dogs, but sure.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm allergic to cats too, though. So.
We owe a few more wheel spins, so let's run that.
All right. Stump the Pals. Do you know whose wheel spin you were spinning for there, Sean?
Yeah. So that is Gabber Nerd. If Gabber Nerd is here, play. Basically, the concept would be Gabber Nerd or whoever, if it were to land for someone else, you would have to say something to us and see if we know, like a trivia question, like
Sure.
what year was Swamp Thing created?
That's
and
easy.
we would see if we would know the answer. But
Yeah,
that's only if Gabber Nerd is here.
I just tried adding Gabber Nerd, but I don't see them in the chat.
Okay, so
Okay.
fair enough.
Well, all right, we'll spin again.
Well, could I do a little thing of trivia?
Sure, but you could also drink some water.
Yes.
Oh, while we do that.
I've been so thirsty.
Oh no, I ran out. I'll have to sip
Oh.
my coffee.
You're gonna have to refill it live.
Step away.
That old ass coffee.
I made a fresh batch of cold brew last night, so I'm fucking wired. If you couldn't tell this episode.
Another wheel spin.
Sure.
I'll do better about this next week, guys. I just was
Is it-
very caught up in the conversation we're having.
Yeah. Highlight a book.
Sick.
So
Oh,
Sean or
let me-
I. Eliminate Marco from that discussion.
Let me get that poll going.
And do we have another one after that, Sean? Or is that it?
Yeah, two more after.
Two more. All right, so I'll spin again while we get that poll going.
Super Chop says, in the dog's defense, you did just say you like the Howard the Duck movie.
Wow, rude. We got a Marco's minute.
Oh
shit.
So, Marco, you want to have a
Nice.
minute while we wait for this poll to go through?
Hold on, because I did have a trivia question.
Okay.
What character introduced in Generation X #1 has a scarf as part of their signature look, and what is
Oh.
unusual about their powers or appearance?
That'd be Chamber.
Oh.
Chamber has no bottom half of his face. It's all just projectile flames. I believe that was was it Scott Lobdell and Chris Bacalo?
Damn, he wasn't ready for you.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy.
I love Gen X, dude. Chamber, that's where Sync shows up too. It's right after the Technarch virus Warlock people thing.
We'll give Marco his minute, but I do want to give a huge shout out to Sam. I won't say your full name, but Sam joined us as a Pals vs. Legend for a year. So thank you so much, Sam. That is incredible. Joining up on the Patreon for an entire year up front. Really appreciate you, dude. Can't wait to write your origin.
Hell yeah. And you're right, Tyler. That was Scott Lobdell and Chris Bacalo.
Yep. I have literal shorts that say Generation X on it, like the logo on it. I love Gen X.
That's wild. I ran this through my Pals AI whatever.
Well, fuck AI. I'm right.
So fucking.
I have a Chamber action figure up on my shelf over
Oh
there.
dang! I gotta edit it, qualify for it, and also Tyler knows obscure ass shit, so make it more difficult.
Marvel, yeah.
All right, it's time for a Marco's minute. Can't get around it. We must give it up. Marco, what is the most important thing to keep in mind when you are in a relationship? Timer starts. Hurry up.
Okay.
Prayer
Ready?
apparently is the most important thing.
Ready? The most important thing in a relationship is consistent booty. Okay, got to make sure your girl's happy. Got to make sure your guy's happy. You got to make sure that when you're there, you're doing a good job. Okay, you're giving them that love, because if not, what are you doing? You gotta care for them. Easy, right? You gotta make sure that they're fed. Easy, but putting in real work, putting in that sweat, that's where that comes in. That's where you got to make sure you always make sure you do. So that's the I think key to keeping a good, long, loving relationship is make sure you continue to throw down, continue to put up, and ultimately give those aftercare cuddles. You want to make sure after the dirty's done, you're there, you're cuddling, giving kisses on the forehead. Always.
Damn. Much like when Marco puts in that sweat, he would suffer through a minute there.
That's crazy.
Holy shit.
Putting in that sweat is one of the most vile things you've ever said on the show, Marco.
Putting in that sweat.
Damn.
Wow, Marco.
Hey, you can do whatever you want. Not wait until marriage. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
You got to test drive the car before you buy it.
Oh no.
2 more wheel spins.
2 more.
Yeah.
Revelation. Okay, so we'll put the poll up for that, and I'll put in the final spin while we get that poll up. Oh, we've got to wait. Who's highlighting the book?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And the poll, and we can
me,
put up another one.
Me, 67%.
Okay, it's fine. It's not like I wasn't on Palace polls this week, and in my opinion, it's just fine. Whatever, it's cool.
Right. So let me talk about Hyde Street Sisterhood. So this is written by Maital Jute, who is a part of Ghost Machine. Of course, this is from the Hyde Street series of comics. It's a spin-off series. I was interested and intrigued because I did enjoy the one shot that Maitel had written about the exercise lady. By the way, art is Alex Sinclair and Layla Lays. But I didn't know what to expect from this. And so what the book is about is these two, lifelong friends. They've got their own sort of like sisterhood going on, but then they go to college together, and one of them gets into college sorority culture, and she ends up dying during a hazing. And she dies, but her soul spirit, somehow she's able to communicate with her best friend, but she's like drowned in water. Every time she sees her, her body's in water because that's how she died. So she convinces the dead girl, convinces her friend to infiltrate the sorority in order to get revenge. And a series of awful things start to occur that are shocking and crazy. And there is definitely a good message here about a lot of factors, peer pressure among them. But it's just so well written. I really love it. And I hope that we get to see more of Maitel because she clearly has a voice and something to say. And I want her to be able to say it across more than just a handful of issues. But a great book.
I got to the first issue, didn't get to the second or third. I don't know if it's at the third. But yeah, it's really good. Can confirm.
Yeah, the third issue just dropped. And I didn't love it as much as the rest, but it's still a really good series. So they want a revelation from you, Tyler.
Oh boy. Okay. In college, I had to explain to my college professor what a rubber fist is used for. It was my writing for TV professor, and at the end of the year, he had us write like an episode for a TV show that it already exists, like a spec script. So I wrote one for It's Always Sunny, and in my script, I had a rubber fist was a plot element, and he was reading scene directions like the professor was, and I had you cast the other classmates as roles in it. Mac has a rubber fist that he calls a portable punch in it. He doesn't really know what it's used for. This is before Mac comes out. And then he's like, what is the rubber fist? And I had to explain that to him, which was fun. That's liberal arts studies for you guys.
Well, yeah, fun.
Yeah, the script was fun.
That's quite the revelation, Tyler.
I will not be revealing what it's for if you don't know what it's for right now. It's a throwable punch. That's what it is.
Extendable punch.
Yeah.
Amin Perez with a 5-pound. Redcoat is absolute fire. People really sleeping on that one. Yeah, Redcoat has definitely been good.
It's found its legs.
Mm-hmm. Are we all good on wheel spins?
I think we needed one more.
One more.
Okay, cool.
We can lie to Marco one more time.
Nah, do another spin.
All right, fine. Jeez. Stump the Pals. Well, I don't know whose that was, but I know Atomic Count put one in there.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Well, it actually is Atomic Count.
There we go.
He was so perfect.
Where is it? He said it was in here somewhere. Yeah, submission. What title and issues did the writer of Batman 89, the movie, write for DC?
Oh, Batman 89, the comic.
Was he?
He wrote the Batman 89 comic that's been coming out. Isn't his name? What's his name?
Is this a trick question?
Maybe it is, but I'm pretty confident he wrote those, unless I'm bugging out. Who wrote Batman 89?
Sam Hamm?
Sam Hamm. Didn't
That's not a real name.
No, that's not him. But he did write for DC. You're totally right. Shit.
I don't know this answer. I don't think I would ever know this answer.
I don't know. Yeah,
not without cheating.
I know he's written for DC. I'm sure of it. I just thought it was that book, but it's not. He's right. Yeah. Damn. I don't know. You got me stumped.
Hound giving us questions that he knows only he knows. You know our expertise here, Hound.
You got us.
Yeah, I'm stumped.
Stumped. Should I Google? I should Google.
No,
I would like to know the answer.
I'm sure Hound has the answer.
Ignoring the events of Batman Forever, leading into the flood.
Just reading it out loud.
Trying to find it. Batman 89 Echoes?
Is it credited to Sam Hamm?
Sam Hamm is not a real name. I don't care what you guys are saying.
Dan Trudeau says he wrote a story called Blind Justice shortly after the movie and Detective Comics, 3 issues, I believe.
Okay. That is the truth speaking.
And says the truth. So there you go. Initially, it was Detective Comics 598 through 600.
Yeah. Blind Justice. Yep.
Wow.
Introduce Ducard as well.
Wow. That's a pivotal character.
Oh, wait. And then you're right. Sean Hamm returned to the 1989 Batman film universe with a limited DC comic series, Batman 89.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know I'm not psychotic.
Not fully stumped.
Yeah. So what the hell? So I get points on that.
You get
Points.
Oh my God. All right. Well, thank you, Atomic Hound, for playing. Thank you for all the super chat love. Thank you guys for being an incredible audience. We have 2 last things to do here before we free you. You know you can't leave until you're freed. The first thing we have to do is shout out the rest of the Comics Pals who are our most valiant and loyal supporters. Amin, the Almighty Perez, Houston, the Century Kid Murphy, Peter, Living Lightning Electrics, Lucas Heatwave Holner, Young Dende, Faye Fighter Dewuti, Shalom Paladin Warburg, Cosmic November, Al Shogunate, Your Origin is coming next week, my friend. Steve Swarm Canaris, Blur Jekyll Jose, Scripture, the Wardens of the Word, Chris the Cure Coleman, Emperor M.D. Johnny. Thank you all so much. And while I'm at it, I might as well give another shout out to our friend Sam that joined. I think that's Last Young Renegade, but either way, thank you, brother.
Cool. Appreciate you.
And now we've got to play the GOAT game. You guys got us across the goal. We've never missed it yet. Hopefully we never do. Let's play the GOAT game.
All right, let's figure out which one of us or combination of us will be doing this. So
let's get it.
Roll it.
Patrick Zay asked a good question. Are we gonna get Luffy in the GOAT game?
No comment.
Oh, Goku?
There's over 300. There's no Goku. I'm not putting Goku in there.
Okay.
But it is Sean and me. We'll be doing this one.
45 seconds apiece.
Are we doing the same character, or are we going head to head? What's the plan here?
We'll do. What if we do the same character,
who had a better,
had a better argument?
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to go first?
Well, we got to figure out the character.
Oh yeah, we got to figure out. What it is.
And it's not Cyclops. It's just where it's starting. So that would be an interesting discussion, though. So, but unlikely it'll be Cyclops again. So let's roll this. Who is it gonna be? Raven.
Oh wow.
Boy. I think this might be a bit of a blind spot for both of us.
Okay. All right. I'll go first.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah.
All right. 45 seconds. If one of you guys, well, I can do it. All right. Here we go.
And I got the poll ready when
I bet you do after that Marco's minute.
Hey.
Oh my. The Teen Titans are arguably one of the most popular teams in DC, but there's no doubt in my mind that the standout character of that team is Raven. Raven is every young boy and girl's first emo crush. Everybody loves Raven. Not only did we all have a crush on her from the Teen Titans television show? But she's also super powerful. What her father is one of the primary antagonists of the Teen Titans, that being Trigon. And so much of their battle with him is her battle with her father. We can all relate to having an internal conflict about our parents. I know I can. And so Raven, well, there it is.
All right. Cool.
Got to read the wiki real quick, Tyler?
No, I was barely even listening to Sean on purpose.
All right, when you're ready.
Okay, you can start it.
Oh.
Sometimes heroes are the hero of the time. And right now, the character of Raven, most notably in Teen Titans and Titans, is having her time. And that's because what's big right now? Goth mommies. Right now, the greatest of all time is a goth baddie, and it's Raven. Raven is a little hard edged with the way she, can deal with magic, and she has relationships with Beast Boy and a horrible relationship with her father. But what's better than her at this time? I got 10 seconds. Holy shit, this goes by quick. Vote for me, please. I love you guys.
All right.
Guys, I don't know shit about Raven.
So,
that's not my best.
Who do you think gave the better pitch for Raven being the greatest of all time hero?
I like the direction you took, Tyler. Going down.
I fizzled.
And you know what? That aside, though, I do think that it was a smart play. You're kind of playing with current times right now.
Yeah.
I do think that Sean went with a bit more of a classic sort of take on who Raven is. The kind of details that you could bring about the conflicts. But
sure, the actual substance Sean had. You mean
substance? But
sure.
If I were the one voting, I don't mind getting stepped on.
Marco, you need a cold shower after this episode. Tyler about to go 0-3, unfortunately. Hey.
These things do happen. Atomic Hound says Goth Mommy wins.
Who the fuck put Raven in this? Why would you even put her in here? Which one of you?
Was it you? Not you, Tyler, the cat.
You see how he tried to get my attention there?
Yeah.
All right.
He's giving me emotional support. Thanks,
Close
buddy.
the poll. It's 80-20 in favor of me.
Wow.
Chat not gooning today.
Wow.
I threw it in there. She was all of our crush, when we were young.
I argue that she's not emo, she's goth, but
I mean, my God. Potato.
I disagree. As a former emo kid, very highly disagree.
All right, fair enough. Either way, I did win. Thank you guys for voting for me. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys making it possible to play the game today. Always fun, and hopefully we don't miss it ever, because that would be sad. We've got a bunch of stuff dropping all month long, September. We are working hard to entertain you guys, and hopefully we did a good job of that today. If you think we did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not. We really appreciate you guys. You guys got us over $200 or 200 patrons. We got a $100 super chat to promote the Radiant Black Book Club that we now have to do. So many beautiful things happened today. We had our most views ever during a live stream, which was awesome. Thank you guys for showing up, for being a tremendous audience, for engaging in good spirit and good faith with the conversation we had earlier. I really love that we get to come on here and do that.
Yeah, thanks to 99.9% of you.
Yes. The only 99.9% that matter.
Exactly.
Don't forget, Monday at 1 p.m., Palace Previews. Critically, though, Wednesday, 6 p.m., Dan Waters will be on this channel live with us to talk about Dark Patterns, Nightwing, and everything else. It's going to be super fun. Hope to see you guys there. Until then,